Hello everybody, welcome, welcome. It's Thursday, and Thursday finally means that we're back for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I hope you're having a fabulous day, and just your local PSA that no, Kazuma Asogi is not dead. Can't be. It's not allowed. We probably won't see him in the first case though, because that would be weird. Anyway.
Right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Don't worry, Miles. It didn't get. I don't think it was on stream.
Oh no, I was watching.
Okay.
I was making sure.
Okay. Hi, Izzy.
I just said something stupid.
Okay. Great. I'm happy for you. I'm gonna... Oh, there's no... Okay. Music is either on or off, huh? Okay.
Yep. I refuse to... It's fine. refuse to let it be off.
I refuse to elaborate or whatever.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I thought maybe at some point I had turned the game down or something. So the game's just a lot quieter than everything else.
Oh, okay.
Maybe in the volume mixer you could change that?
I can...
You like right click in the bottom right from the Windows thing. Open volume mixer.
I know where the volume mixer is, Alex.
Okay, I'm saying some people don't know where the volume mixer is.
I know where it's at 100%, which is what I thought.
Okay. Turn everyone else down. It's all worth it for the music.
It's fine. Anyway, it's time. We probably won't see Kazuma in the first case because that would be silly. They wouldn't do that.
Who knows?
They wouldn't.
I don't know what this game would do.
The first shot
anymore.
is Kazuma's. I was gonna say Kazuma. I'm a little drunk.
Kazuma's
I was gonna say
ass?
Kazuma's bare ass. Yeah.
Oh my god, you were actually. I was
gonna say Kazuma's bare ass.
He is gonna say
that.
Do I?
He's face down in
I'm
the
so
water
sorry.
after they dumped
Yep.
him in the ocean.
Kazuma on the table of getting checked on the boat.
He's getting a massage.
I think you can just hit select adventure, and yeah.
We just pan through the
And
wall
menu
and see
game.
Ryu panicking
No,
while he's getting
next,
his
hold on,
massage.
back up. The Z, and then left.
Alright.
Nope, alright. Select adventure.
What? Okay, you fucking... Okay. What are you...
There's big arrows.
You see these giant arrows?
I didn't,
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
actually. I did not, because they blend into the background.
They did kinda, yeah.
Yeah, that really is a choice, isn't it?
I could not see them.
It is understandable. We understand.
There it is, Kazuma's ass.
Everyone shut up.
Not that white.
No.
Oh.
Baby.
No,
Oh.
come on!
Standing
fuck.
here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean. Those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital. You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer. I've no doubt that at this very moment, he's fighting some noble cause in court.
He's like sitting on his ass eating Cheetos.
One to 10, how stupid thing we're gonna find
For
him
taking
doing.
so long to come
Sorry.
to visit you. My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
Bitch.
Fucker!
She's back!
She's back. Holy shit.
Bitch!
So I came here today to ask something of you.
It's her
Tomorrow,
grave.
I shall be standing in court.
Everyone shut the fuck up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill you.
As a lawyer,
Yes!
Yeah, this is what I knew.
Is that what that is?
So please.
Oh, she's dead.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Kazuma-sama.
Okay,
is
so
great.
it's not her dad. It's not her dad.
Okay, I
That's
was
dead,
like, oh
maybe.
man, we're already down a Shasta character. Holy shit!
I've seen that picture on the
Fuck
right. I
yeah.
didn't realize it was Susato.
Fuck yeah. Fuck
Oh
yeah.
shit!
I
Who's the
knew it
person
was
on?
her.
Wait, who's the prosecutor? What?
Alex, we don't know.
I know. I'm
can
sorry.
ask
I mean,
these-
I
we
mean,
can
it's
ask these
probably
questions.
Ouchie again. It's probably Ouchie again.
No, these are two different people. Who are these people?
His name is Ouchie.
Ouchie's fucking dead.
The 13th of August, 8:26 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants Antechamber 3.
So, do you want to narrate or should I?
I feel like if it's Ouchie, then Molly will have somebody steadily in court. But I don't actually know. I don't actually know if it's
There were two
Ouchie.
pictures of what looked like two femme people.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think it's a different prosecutor. that we've
I
never
don't
seen
know if
before.
that person is the prosecutor.
I don't think they are.
Shit, that
I
could be
don't-
our psychic
I don't think she is the prosecutor.
or the defendant.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be Susato.
Let's do it this way. If you end up getting zoned out or tired, let me know, and I
Yeah.
will.
That's a me problem.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's a me.
Yeah,
I would have the same. I know I'd have the same. I know I would have the same problem too. So
Yeah, you go
if
ahead.
it comes up, let me know and we'll swap. Got it.
I am.
First lines. Here I am after 9 months. The Supreme Court of Judicature. Oof. Judicature? Have we ever agreed on
I
that?
think it's
we're-
Judicature.
And she's
Judicature
American.
of Japan.
You're American now, boy.
Oh, we're speaking Japanese, right?
We're
The Supreme Court the Supreme Court of Oof. I'm a little drunk. Of Judicature in Japan.
Susato needed something to
Not
get through
drunk,
this.
not that drunk, but enough that I'm also kind of nervous and excited.
Yeah.
I feel so nervous. I must steal my nerves and find a way to compose myself.
You're just in character.
Yeah,
Gotta
Miles.
go
Miles.
fucking mood.
Had a cup of sake. Okay, he's alive.
Hey.
Fuck, he's alive. What did he sound like?
Old man.
Like a
Good.
dad.
Go here.
Yeah.
Doesn't do good.
Not-
Doesn't do for a lawyer to be late.
You have to sound like Miles's dad.
Does it sound like you're from Brooklyn?
Fuck, I forget what a Brooklyn at.
No, don't do that.
Don't.
Don't do it.
I will kill you.
Oh, yes. Good morning, sir.
I hardly recognize you. You cut a fine figure, counsel. That's too stern. But you look as white as a sheet, and those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either.
What does she look like, Naruhodo, right now?
Oh dear.
He's picked up
She
some
might,
bad
honestly.
habits.
She might
Yes,
be wearing that
this
uniform.
is actually our father.
Yeah, her last name is Migatoba. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous, I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish that I'd never been born.
You sound just like Rinosuke.
Yeah, that tracks.
Goodness. Not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say.
Yeah, it's a personal insult. How fucking dare you?
Yeah,
sir?
and he looks the way Doctor Strange should have looked because Doctor Strange should have been Asian.
Ooh. Yeah.
Ooh, spicy. Incorrect.
Eugen Mikotoba, I think is actually how they say it.
Right.
Professor of Medicine at the Imperial Yume University.
Fucking Marvel hot takes out of my stream.
A man who, earlier in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And of course, my brilliant father.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today?
Oh, yes, that's right, miss.
Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication. This whole thing!
Ray, remember me. I've heard this one. I've heard this name is bad. That's why the Susato ship name with her, they still use the tag is still like the Japanese version.
Oh my
Ray,
god.
Wait,
my brother and me.
Wait.
Remember
that's not
me.
her actual Japanese
Remember
name?
me.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a completely different name in Japanese. Born the same year as I, and my greatest friend.
Yeah,
Probably
they're
because
girlfriends.
it needed to be a pun in both languages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the University Research Laboratory, helping my father. And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial. Accused of committing a
she's her Larry
truly
Butt.
awful murder. Yep, she's Larry too.
Larry won.
Oh, yeah, Larry the prequel.
Yeah.
So
Larry
where
the
is Ray
Squeakle.
to?
Are you feeling alright? Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed.
Oh my, it's just that, you look so gallant and dashing.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry?
And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful.
Oh my god.
I imagine the
Damn.
gaze is those big eyes Ryunosuke has, like the scared ones.
Yes,
They're
oh
just, like,
yes.
looking around.
Oh yeah, Susato's
Yeah.
got big, like, darting scare eyes.
Bug eyes. And Ray's like,
You're
swoon.
so pretty.
Goodness. I don't think she knows.
What?
She hasn't realized who I am. The trans mask vibes.
It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work.
Oh,
I will say I
my
did do that once where I was
God.
like just on the verge of coming out and someone was hitting on me and I was like, nope, I'm a girl. And, like, trying to get them to stop hitting on me.
Susato's dressed up like a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was-
that's
yeah.
what that was. That picture. Yeah, okay.
Ah.
That's the only way she could have been a lawyer.
She's dressed up.
Wow.
This is
That's
the
pretty sick.
picture that I saw. It was Susato dressed up like Ryunosuke.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I've seen too.
I've seen that.
I'm like, I could not. I did
I've
not
not
know it was
actually
her,
seen
though.
that. I have not. I surprisingly, that's the one like visual thing I've avoided about or returning characters, is I did not see her.
I didn't know it was her. I was like, is this Ryunosuke's little
That's
sister?
probably
Now I know what it. All right, this is delightful.
Did Shasta read that last line?
I don't know.
Yes. Okay.
I thought so.
We were also.
Yeah, I was having a revelation. Oh,
No, you're valid.
what do you mean, Professor Mikotaba?
If even your best friend can see through the disguise, I think we can relax.
Oh my god, this
Ray, you don't have to worry. She deserved it.
Ray is Susato's best friend. Disguise?
Yes. Never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father.
Father? What? Is that you, Susato?
I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner, Ray. It's just that
No! What are you doing? What's going on? What? That varsity uniform, that varsity cap, that varsity cape, that varsity badge!
Cape?
Look at you! You look
No, I
for
think it's a
all
cap.
the world just like a student of this. Did I say? God
Hmm?
No, there was cape and cap. Both
Yeah,
were
Cape
on.
Yeah.
and Cap. You got both
Oh,
of them.
okay.
Yeah, that varsity
he-
cap, that varsity cape.
Cape. Yeah, it said both.
I didn't. I've seen like. I did not know there was a cape involved. I'm excited. That was my answer. That was why I said that.
Okay. Look at you. You look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University. A male student.
I'm so glad you think so. It means all my
Also
preparations
has
have been
fucking
worthwhile.
price stands.
I woke at 4 this morning to make a start.
Oh my god, Susato. But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that?
Well, you see,
It was the only way. The only way was you would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial.
My defense?
never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. Transmask vibes, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom, though she did briefly last time, which was cool to see her there.
Yeah, I think that was a big faux pas.
Yeah, and she's like, bye. And, like,
I have
had
to
had to
stretch.
duck out.
Thank you,
Oh, what a mood. I was in a car for 5 hours today.
Oh no, I have
boy.
been forced to with points, but you can also
I've learned that there are streamers that like have a point option not for just stretch or hydrate, but also for blink. Which
Ah!
I was like, yeah, if I were a
Funny.
streamer, I would need that because when I play some games, I like my eyes start watering really bad because I'm not blinking enough.
Watering. I don't have that problem. I blink perfectly fine.
Honestly,
with
I
this one,
hope
that'd be
Ray
fun.
killed Giselle. She deserved it.
Well,
Why'd she come back to Japan, you
I-
fucking moron?
Someone else can
This is
kill
fun.
Giselle. Ray doesn't
I
have
know.
to.
Ray probably didn't, but someone should have, and someone
Probably.
did.
Someone did. Someone did. It doesn't have to be
What she
Susato's
deserved.
best friend.
No, it doesn't. That's true. She doesn't have to go to prison. I just want to know why that bitch came back.
Despite the fact the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike,
But women are forbidden.
just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door. So that I can act as your lawyer.
Yes, Izzy. I think she went to Shanghai, right?
She was.
She was
she was
supposed
extradited.
to, at least. Yeah.
Oh, Susato, you'd go to such lengths for me.
Of course, you're my greatest friend. I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve.
Oh no, I have complete faith in you.
Ray,
It's so strange, though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And yet, just because you're a woman? What a wretched reason! You can tell they're friends because they both do the fucking hands. They're ready to fight
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
They're both ready to fight. I think I'm the only one who hasn't voiced Hosonaga.
Wonderful.
I think I
Well-
did have him very briefly, but I
You
don't
did.
remember for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why
We just passed
shouldn't
them
you
around to
be
whoever
allowed in
didn't have
court?
anything.
You're so gallant and dashing.
That's one way of describing it. Describing sexy.
Ray? Please don't look at me like that. With those flushed cheeks and doting eyes. Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, damn, dude.
Sorry, it's just you really do look so dashing.
You're just so hot.
Yes, you mentioned that once or twice. Mm.
Really? You
We
look
can see
really
why this
cute
is a
like
ship now.
that. You look really cute like that, Susato.
You should be pleased. Means you look convincing as a man.
You know what else we should do? To really sell it that you're a man, say that you're my husband.
Yes.
Of
I
course,
am
we'll actually have
pleased.
to get married. But, you know.
I think. It certainly helped to bolster my confidence today.
Ray is so cute.
Ray. You're managing to put on a brave face in all this. But I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly.
Susato, you do believe me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder?
Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Isn't that right?
Yes. Yes, it is. Perfectly clean.
I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence. Which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be on your side.
Oh, this case is like a mirror to Kazuma and Rinasuke's trial.
Mm-hmm. So Ray's not
That's what it
defending
means
herself.
to be a...
Yeah.
Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer.
That means so much to me, Susato.
Defendant, counsel,
Yes!
Oh,
American bailiff.
I missed that.
Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once.
You should go in at once, Ray.
That's what he said.
If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty.
Oh, we're gonna see Hot Judge again.
Oh,
We are.
stand aside!
Barrels through.
I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast. I was thinking about who's gonna be Hot Judge now. That was Hot Judge the first time.
Oh, that's true.
If I don't have anybody, I'm happy to be Hot Judge.
Yeah, I'm already the other judge.
True.
Well,
Alex, you're
Susato,
not
you've
judge.
certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom and with no prior experience of being a lawyer.
I mean, Susato is basically doing a lot of lawyering.
Mm-hmm.
There was simply no other way. That's all there is to it. But Father... You haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this?
Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her.
Is her dad gonna be our psychic?
It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case.
Oh.
I didn't want to burden her with that. Those damn Americans.
And is it true? The reason
Is
why
it British?
every other lawyer is refusing to take the case.
It's because
America
the
doesn't exist yet,
victim
does
is
it?
British.
Americans do exist, Shasta.
They do? When did that
Is it
happen?
really because of who the victim was?
We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student.
Thank you, Father. I'm Susato Mikotoba, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan.
Alex, there's not an apostrophe in Americans.
Whatever.
How many times have I wished that he were here, I wonder? Still, I have no choice now but to steel myself for the trial ahead.
Look at our boy.
Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san. Whew.
Fuck.
Thanks. Thanks, buddy.
It's quote Del. I'm
Buddy
pretty
old
sure.
pal.
Thanks,
Or Del
buddy, old
quote?
pal.
I think it's Del quote. Mara couldn't. 13th of August, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 1. There he is.
Good. Me?
Go ahead.
Yeah. This court is now in session to hear the trial of Rei Membami.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, like, I meant the name pronunciation. The voice is good too, but I want to click like that. I mean, like, that sounds
the
less like a
name.
shitty direct pun. Is like,
It's also like Membami doesn't feel like it's a Japanese name at all,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
but we'll make it work.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, back to you.
Yes.
Have fun.
Hold on.
Law's got to do some stretches again.
Yeah.
You've got to put your vocal cords back in that certain space.
Screech.
I gotta scrunch up.
gotta raise them.
I gotta get real up in that nasal cavity. The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency.
Holy shit! There she is.
Oh, look at her.
Cute.
See,
Oh
look
my
at that
Hell
cape.
yeah.
Look at that cape.
Look at that
Yeah.
cape.
Can't wait.
Colors.
to hear
That's a
what-
great color. Defense counsel, are you ready?
Yes, Your Excellency. We are ready.
Ready.
Yes, she's got the crazy eyes.
Yes, counsel. According to your registration details, your name is
George?
Ryutaro Naruhodo. Is that correct?
Oh shit.
Is she playing? Is she like trying to be like his?
The
His
little
little brother?
brother.
Is that why she's doing the eye thing?
I
That would
think
be really
she's
funny
no.
if
I
she's
think
also
she's
just
doing
trying
the
to
eye
imitate
thing
him.
because
Yeah.
she's actually fucking stressed.
Yeah. But I mean, this is adding. This is making it convincing. Oh, God,
Oh, and
this
actually,
is
it's
good.
Ryutaro.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Ryutaro.
Oh yes, I had to come up with a suitable name for you for this little venture.
Talk about this.
So I'm afraid I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind.
It's like I couldn't do Rinosuke.
Taro.
Well, counsel.
Yes, that's right. That's me. Yes, I am Ryutaro. He was vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan.
Oh.
I wanted to say Naruhodo-san, but like
Yeah.
the cadence tracks the same way.
Ah.
It seems Ryutaro may need to consider how to better uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. And those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen.
And neither is the eyeliner.
Right?
Oh, the eyeliner's doing you much favors. Cute.
Naruhodo. A fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo, would that perchance be?
You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is,
His cousin.
That's right. Ryutaro here has been studying in the provinces, but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any of Tokyo's preeminent lawyers.
any of them.
What a
She's so nervous.
pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accusers had to call in a country boy. How dare you? Susato is every bit of gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys. I won't have you making fun of her!
Ray. Ray.
Ray, come on.
Ray.
Please be careful, Ray.
Shouldn't have told her. What an unrefined tomboy we have here. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not.
I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through.
Why his eyes always dart around the courtroom like a wild animal?
Suddenly way too hyper aware.
Like it or not, eyes are wont to flit.
It's a great quote.
I love her. Oh.
The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interests. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire.
Just like the trial 9 months ago. And yet, for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock? Dear me.
Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense. To determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom.
You think they
a
would
tutorial, if you
You think
will.
they would do this before they let
right.
someone step foot in a courtroom? Like,
Gotta do this on the case one.
9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now, this same judge tested him as well.
the fucking arm raise gets me every time.
And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colors.
That is true. You weren't even a law student.
Forgot about that.
For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy.
So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions?
Oh.
All right, it's time to prove myself.
Look at her little nose in her cheeks.
Her armband doesn't fit her either.
Yes, Your Excellency. But please do make them simple.
Very well, to start with. You will state the name of the victim.
I know what it is.
Phew, that is simple. I couldn't forget it if I tried.
I've forgotten.
Ah.
Oh, guy, look at this mouse.
Ah, classic.
Ooh.
Trevor.
E.
TV's here. Hello, Tony.
Hello, TV. Welcome, welcome.
It's Tony.
It's Tony. Ahoy, ahoy.
What's the matter?
Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through.
Sudden memory loss.
You're right.
Like it or not, minds are wants to blank.
Eyes are wont to flit. Minds are wont to blank.
And minds are wants to blank.
It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position and in that guise. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances.
Oh dear, this is a dismal failure.
Don't fret. You need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem.
Use your magic book with everything in it.
Oh, of course! The court record!
Well, that too.
My magic book! Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case. In the court record. Court record. You hear it echoing from the background?
Use
That's right. Use E to open the court record.
E.
this hydrate
Court
is
record.
fucking annoying.
Emma's not about saving her points.
I'm
Absolutely.
trying to figure out how I could go just a little bit higher to get the cadence of court record, but I'm not sure I could do it.
Court record.
Court record. Nope, can't do it. Then you need to flip to the people section with E.
E.
E. And don't take too long over it. His Excellency is watching you closely.
Surprise, this segment is timed now.
Right, God, that would be awful.
Apparently.
Alright. Check the court record with E. That's where the information I need will be.
Danganronpa rules. You got a million minutes.
E.
E.
I'm waiting, counsel.
E.
E?
I want to look at this.
The victim's name is E, Your Honor.
The victim, Giselle Brett, female, British. Time of death, the 11th of August, around 2 p.m. Ascertained by examination and witness statements. Cause of death was a single deep stab wound from behind, piercing a lung and resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. Death would have occurred within minutes. God, that sucks, though.
That's oof.
sucks.
What she deserves.
Notes: extreme meiosis, pupil constriction was observed in the victim's
So,
the victim in both eyes.
oh Jesus, was she also poisoned?
Yeah, I was gonna say like,
Yeah.
I wonder if this is gonna reveal something else about how she was actually murdered.
Is payback
Or
a
something
bitch?
about her eyes.
Right.
We've never seen her eyes.
Oh, that's
true.
true.
I wonder if she
Ooh.
like if she had some sort of like visual thing, like
Mhm.
some sort of like light sensitivity that when her mask came down, it fucked up her eyes. I don't know.
Wow. If that's the case, then like the fact that it didn't even come up once in the first case is pretty great.
I mean, but we did just like they never let us see her face.
That's what I'm
So.
saying. It's like keeping that.
If she has some sort of thing that the fact that never came up is cool, not like
Yeah,
Character design as storytelling.
Exactly.
yes.
it would be interesting. Hi, Dad. Hi, Ray. Giselle Brett. Victim. She was found guilty of murdering Dr. John Wilson. And now she's dead.
Thank God. Good work, Ray. I mean,
What is
You
the
say
name
ouchie
of
and
the
he's like,
victim
oh my
in
God,
this
am I dead?
case?
Am I dead?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes! Yes! Fucking hand raising!
Yes!
The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Giselle Brett.
God, I love that all her sprites are now exactly like Rinosuke. Delightful. Giselle Brett.
A name that will never be forgotten in the courtroom of our country, I'm sure.
correct.
I just got wrecked.
Right.
Like that's all I heard was wrecked.
Erect. Sorry. It'd be-
Yee.
Wrong judge.
And being a member of the Empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name.
Mhm.
So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why, then, is her name indelibly associated with our own Empire's judicial history?
Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago.
Obviously.
But if that's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record.
Obviously, I still remember. That was the start of everything. Giselle Brett. Behind the woman's student persona was the face of...
Queen Victoria!
Oh. Wow.
Hell yeah! We found her, guys!
And she's dead.
Was she missing?
Yes!
9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yuma University was killed.
Alex, wrong queen.
What other queen is missing?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
No,
Oh,
Alex
yeah.
is talking about the fact that Giselle Brett just got murdered. Not that, like, the Queen of I think that's what happened.
Yeah, no, I said we found the queen. That's what the joke was.
And then he said, and she's dead, right? And this is the... Never mind, and the culprit was Giselle Brett.
We're
M's mom is about to be dead.
all of
Or
our
My
is
track
dead, died a
drifting.
few months
all
ago.
of our jokes were crossing. It's fine. Lizzie Steph's dead. You can't call the queen Lizzie.
Yes,
You
you
can't do that.
She's got a little cartoon version of herself that talks her through middle school.
Oh my god.
Oh
Wow.
my fucking god,
Lizzie,
Alex.
what is it?
Lizzie
Windsor
McGuire.
Mountebank?
Okay. Yes, she was a killer.
This is a disaster.
At the time, our country...
I don't fucking know.
At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain. And it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor... is this the judge?
Oh. I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Mikotoba. Mikotoba?
Yes, I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor for the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter of the government wished to resolve rapidly.
Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court. A student of the Imperial Yuma University was arrested on suspicion of murder.
Why doesn't Ryu have a cape?
He's not as cool.
He took it
Wait,
A
off.
what
second
month is
year.
this?
Also, he wasn't technically a lawyer.
What
Maybe
was the
related.
month? It was August.
Only
So-
lawyers have capes?
No,
don't know.
I'm sure.
A second year.
I'm sure he
Cosmo didn't
just
have
took
one.
it off because he was having a nice like brunch with his best friends, so they weren't wearing their capes.
A second-year English language student by the name of... Oh, he's English language student! That's why his English is so fucking good.
That
Well,
makes
yeah,
sense.
I mean, Cosmos is better though.
Yeah, by the name of Rinosuke Naruhodo, but yeah.
There's our boy.
With the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense.
Hey, we did get to see him.
Can't
There he
wear
is.
a cape on a date. That's the rule. There's the bitch. She's dead.
And exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Giselle Brett. Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion.
Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play.
We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. It was decided she would be removed to Shanghai, China instead.
Why Shanghai?
Well, do me a favor and make it Shanghai.
Shanghai.
Thank you.
There's a British consular court there.
Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week. Oh, jeez. Okay. All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship. So it took 9 months of shit to get here in the first place.
Yeah, it tracks.
And yet, the very day before her departure, the Englishwoman was killed.
Only the day before. Day before? Realize that should be more of a question.
Yeah. That will do. I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant.
You just needed to know the name of the person who died, and
We don't need you to be good. We just need you to be competent enough to not be terrible.
wow,
Oh,
great.
thank you, Your Excellency. Over the first hurdle.
Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Rauchi.
As is your wish, Your Excellency. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th of August, in broad daylight. On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky, at a secluded bathing spot by the sea.
That crab.
The incident occurred inside a small beach hut, erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes.
Why was Giselle going to a beach?
Fully clothed.
The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung. An injury which proved fatal. There were 2 persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Brett in her bathing attire, and the accused, Ray Membami. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady.
Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say.
That's certainly true. The prosecution summary, I saw Ryutaro, I'm like, that's not me. Was full of words that raise an awful lot of questions.
So many words.
As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about...
Being
Gotta be
alone
the-
together. I'm jealous.
It's gotta be the motive, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's the motive.
Don't think about Dular Sapporo.
you're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement.
Is the yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand?
I beg your pardon?
No matter. Let's put this to the accused, shall we? Membami-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe.
Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotaba in his laboratory at the moment.
I can confirm that. The defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility.
Fascinating to hear. Now another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotaba, whose research were you assisting then?
Oh, beans.
Well, I was
Oh, shit.
studying under Dr. John H. Wilson.
Of course. Of fucking course.
Dr. Wilson! The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago.
In case you missed it the first time around.
Love this courtroom so much.
The accused had a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true?
Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man.
Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had toward the English woman who killed him.
Well, obviously I was filled with hatred for what she'd done.
No.
A powerful hatred.
She really is Larry, isn't she? Oh no! Ray! Be careful of what you're saying! What a thing to yell across the courtroom.
The motive was revenge. Plain and simple, Your Excellency.
Well, it was clearly a trap all along.
How wicked of him to use Ray's undying respect for her former mentor against her like that! I must find out more details, and something we can use to bolster our defense. Use some cannons. As a lawyer, I really have to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about...
Yeah, I didn't think it was
Oh.
about the motive. I think it was about them being alone together.
Alright.
Why was...
I think we're alone now.
Well, like, why was Giselle alone at a bathing spot with a student assistant? And not being
I mean, we're learning
supervised?
things.
Yeah, definitely like a student assistant who was, you know, the assistant of a man she murdered. Like,
Right.
Also, she's in custody?
smart.
Why is she alone, period?
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
True,
what I
true,
was
yeah.
getting at. Like, why is she alone with Ray at all?
Because gay. Thank you, Izzy.
No.
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 Membami-san?
Yes. What is it? I mean, Naruhodo-san?
I'm really starting to wish we'd made my alias Ryotaro Susato.
That would have been smart.
I like that pose.
Please tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place. And why you were alone with her.
Oh, well, no. That's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There were other people present. A detective who was guarding Miss Brett, for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion, that's all. Why? Why were you asked
what
that?
detective?
Obviously.
Which detective?
Obviously.
Which detective?
Gotta be
Did he
fucking
finally get a
Hosanagi.
job? Did he finally get hired?
Obviously.
But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else. The truth is, there is only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life.
No.
Because, as we know, the following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again.
Kindly refrain from conjecture, Council.
No!
The Prosecution Council seems to enjoy using provocative tricks like that. But for now, at least, we need to assemble more facts. Try not to let him goad you.
Oh dear, this is really terrifying. But Father's right. We need more information. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the Prosecution Council on what he said about.
Okay, so we needed to know all of it.
Yeah, ask all of them.
Yeah, we
This is a
all
cool way to
we
handle
are
that, actually.
we are learning vital information on all of these.
If I may, Prosecutor Ouchie, you can tell him back in grad school.
What do you want? You fresh-faced young yokel student?
I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot.
Ha! My apologies. Clearly my maternity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West. We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skins.
No, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the fact that Ms. Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea?
For old time's sake, I believe.
Sorry?
Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. And the British Embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply.
So that the British Embassy could assassinate her!
Dun, dun,
But on what
dun.
grounds would we agree to such a request?
Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers.
Oof.
Oh shit.
Matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal.
Oof. Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. In any case, it was decided that, with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong.
But in fact, a murder took place.
I said don't look at me! It was the young student girl who did it, not I!
No one has proved that yet.
I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to.
I would.
I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now.
Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university.
What the fuck?
Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions.
That's so.
You just kept letting this woman work with poison?
That's so fucked.
This murderer who you said poison?
Seeing the murderer of her mentor, of the mentor for whom she had such great respect, enjoying such undeserved liberty.
Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extradition. Is it extradition or extradition?
Extradition.
Yeah.
Extradition to Shanghai. You can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment.
Poor Ray.
So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident.
Yes, thank you, Counsel. A tragic image.
She had a variety of little masks.
Of course she did. Of course she did.
Also, she
Can
wasn't
you
wearing
press-
the big puffy dress. She was just wearing a robe.
Oh, yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Her big puffy dress
Makes
is
sense.
on the rack in the back of the room.
Mm-hmm. She's still wearing that fucking hat.
She's still wearing
She's
the
gonna go
hat.
swimming in it.
She has a pen in her hand.
She's got a pen in her
Oh my
hand,
God.
and there's a
Yeah.
bottle of wine and the wine glass, which we saw in the...
I did notice the
Cutscene.
pen last time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As you can clearly see, there's nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have hidden.
In the dress form?
That would be really hard.
Was there a knife sticking out of her
No,
back?
I don't think so. I think
Then
it
they
was
stabbed her
the-
through the walls.
Yeah.
Levi.
Hmm.
But is there blood on the walls? We have to
Yeah,
check.
but I didn't want to interrupt people. The court will accept this photographic print as evidence.
The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
As I understand it then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time. This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant.
Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence.
Witnesses? But who?
One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective.
Oh, please. It's
Of
gotta
course.
be.
I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt.
Very well then, counsel. Bring forth your witnesses.
Nice.
For a
Yeah.
second, I thought the mouse cursor was a hole in the wall.
There
There is a hole in the wall.
sure is.
Quite a big one.
Yeah.
She
Did
was
I got
in-
into one?
And from where her feet are, there couldn't have
She also
been much
got one.
behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was sitting on that stool.
She was sitting on the stool and was
Writing.
stabbed through the hut.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes,
Rest in peace,
Natalie,
Bird.
the bird is dead.
But was it the cow that killed her?
Yes.
And that was the grapes.
Ah, fuck. It's blood. It's not grapes, it's blood.
I was talking about the wine.
Yeah, that I was talking
Okay.
about the wine too.
Sure.
She's drinking blood, Alex. Come
She's
on.
drinking cow's
Alright.
blood.
Keep up.
If the cows killed her, she was drinking cow's blood. Come on.
Jesus.
Oh god. Okay, how do you say his first? How do you say his name?
Taketsuchi?
Thanks.
Probably Taketsuchi. Probably.
Taketsuchi.
That's my guess.
I, Taketsuchi Ouchi, have been waiting for this moment.
Sorry?
Oh, yes. I haven't forgotten that trial 9 months ago here in this very courthouse. When that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me.
Why are you bringing this up?
Nasuke Naruhodo!
What? Yes?
This insult to the Ouchie family name will never be forgotten!
Oh, you picked the worst last name to make her go by.
You've become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that.
Oh, and he fucking cut his hair.
That's right. I was like, his hair is different.
That's why his hair is
That's why,
down
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Or at least he cut the strap.
Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut, and the bell of cultural enlightenment tolls. Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died.
The start of your own mini Meiji Revolution. Are you modernizing as well, Council?
What?
The way you pronounce Kitsuchi emphasizes Kitsu, which means butt.
Ah! Alright.
Oh, wait, but that means butt ouchie.
Butt hurt.
As of
I mean, butt hurt.
Yeah, it
But-
might actually
Keep
be.
that. Keep it.
It might
Keep it.
actually
That's
be
exactly what it is.
intentional.
Butt hurt.
His name is Butt Hurt. Oh!
Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there has been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the ouchie growth.
Oh my god.
Humor.
You see this seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown.
What the fuck, dude?
Very hairy
I-
humor.
I think that tiny growth is trying to tell me something.
Yeah, me too.
I'm afraid I
You got a
can't
twin.
really see. Where is the hope exactly?
I said
Where's the hope?
silence! Today, I face another yokel student of the Naruhodo clan. Well, I will vanquish you! And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned.
Fuck it up, Komida.
With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand.
Who we got? Looks like the stakes are high on both sides in this trial. The prosecution and defense each has much to lose.
A haircut is hardly comparable to Ray's life. I thought that was you again.
That
Come
haircut
on.
is not his boyfriend.
Dad. Oh my god.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Why even
Why are you here? Hold on. Wait a second.
He went back to Japan.
But why is he here?
Of course he's fucking
He's
here.
got, he's got
Oh
a
my
turtle on his head, Nat. Get over it.
He
best.
does have a turtle on his head.
I guess that leaves Hosonaga for Alex.
God.
That's true.
Yeah, Alex, you get Hosonaga. Oh my god.
He returns home. I do not remember what his voice was.
There will be... Okay, wait a second. Only one character's had to be assigned this entire case so far. And it's Ray.
And it's
Because
Ray.
no, everyone
That's
else is
true.
recurring.
Everyone else has been people that have returned, yes.
Wow.
Ray is the only person that is new.
Turtle did it.
Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court.
Chief Inspector Rain died. Satoru Hasanaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I am in disguise, obviously, so I can go undetected.
Why are
The
you?
turtle is tied to his head. Like,
Why
it's not
are
just
you-
sitting there, it is tied in place.
Why are you still dressed like this?
I am in disguise!
In the courtroom?
And I am, well, the next big thing in books. An author renowned throughout the capital, in fact. Yes.
Oh, I'm so happy he's back.
Soon to be sold out, the satirical I Am Cat, a sensational success by Soseki Natsume.
Who are you, sir?
His fucking
Who the
pers-
fuck is that?
This is his photographer.
Oh my
This
god,
is
he's
his-
a lefty!
He is a lefty. No.
He has the fucking smudge!
That's his right
That's his
hand.
right hand.
That's his.
Alex, what the fuck are you talking about?
Alex, that is his
I
right
saw
hand.
I saw the smudge and my brain was like, I know that smudge. This guy's gonna have to testify though. We need to talk about that smudge.
He's
I
cute.
love this man.
Yeah.
Which way does Japanese write when you write down?
You write right to left.
Or to left. So he's still a
Yeah.
righty, but
Yeah.
he writes
Oh,
right to
that's
left.
He
good.
is,
That's
yeah,
why
because you can
the
see in his
smudge, yeah.
sprite
Why
that
he's
he's
got smudge.
he's also writing right to left
Mm-hmm.
in his sprite.
Got a lot to say.
Also, all the smudges are in the wrong place. It would be on his pinky.
Yeah, it's like on the back of his hand. He was into something.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Soseki.
That's what Giselle's blood looks like. She was
Oh my
so
goodness.
fucking boozed up. It was purple.
Oh shit! Oh my goodness! Struggling student from the provinces, please! You needn't be in awe of me. I needn't?
Someone
It's
gotta-
only natural that you'd feel nervous in my presence, but if all of you, please relax. Call me Soseki, even.
Oh man.
He
I
sure got a
love you.
boost in confidence.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yes.
Good for him.
He published a book and got cocky. I love him. What on earth is Soseki-san doing here?
Tread carefully, Susato. That Arthur fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before it's begun.
Someone's already exposed you. It's still a little late for that.
Yes, of course. I know. I don't think he'd recognize me if he had 100 years, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So true.
I presume Soseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. What a guy. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that it's been since I last saw him.
Do you have kittens? We didn't get to see them at the end of the game. I want to see the kittens.
And as for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe.
Good line delivery.
Do I have something on my face? Yeah. Well,
Not on your
You got
face.
glasses
your
on.
head. Look at his little. He's got a little face.
Well, your glasses for one. Although they don't seem to be helping you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either.
Not true.
Ah, I suppose it's this disguise, isn't it?
Yes. Why?
I thought that appearing here with the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony.
It,
Of course,
well,
I've washed them since then.
It did help last time, so
This is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly.
great.
Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present.
Police Bureau?
Police Bureau. Fucking shut up.
Bureau.
Next line.
Pluto. He's an ass.
But what business did a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Soseki-san?
I was taking a bath.
You see, I had been asked that day to give a lecture.
On the beach?
I hope this is somewhat like the voice I used to do. I can't remember. On the morning of the incident, in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less.
It's very close. He just wobbled more before, but it makes sense that he wouldn't now.
He's more confident now,
Yeah,
so
he's
he's
no
not
longer like
quite
on the
as
verge of a panic attack all the
he's-
time.
Yes, he's not quite as high strung.
Ah, at Yume University? After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the medical science department. The professor over there, in fact. With Professor Mikotoba.
Jesus.
No one can keep the secret.
With my
Yes, that's
favorite
right.
professor, Professor Mikotoba.
It was arranged by one of the newspapers.
Night, Em.
Good night, Em.
Night,
They wanted some story or other about the 2 former students who'd studied in Great Britain.
2 former students who studied in Great Britain. Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone. Secretly spy, snapshots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. And then there's this asshole.
There's this man who keeps following me around.
He keeps following me wherever I go. I wish he
Everywhere.
would stop, please.
I don't understand.
How much is he writing down?
It would make sense for this. It would make sense for this reporter to be the murderer. He wanted a story out of it.
Mm.
That could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. As you can see, the conservation was written up in this newspaper here. The conversation was written up in this newspaper here.
Conservation.
You can tell I'm a biologist. Read it at your leisure, my provincial, struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much. He practically threw that paper at me.
He just hugs it at you, smacks you in the face.
The
Every
Saseki
monk.
Natsume article has been entered into the court record.
The article. It's the...
Yeah.
Anyway, I was making a joke about the being an article, but that was like not... I couldn't figure out how to do it.
I understand now. Well done. Good job.
Anyway, following my interview with the professor...
Oh.
Ah!
Cat! Cat!
Perfect.
Cat!
We got the baby!
Cat! Cat!
Oh,
Baby, what are you doing with his neck?
I don't think he's that.
He's not touching it. He does look like he's trying to, like, chop him in the neck.
Why is there lightning lines?
I think his camera's cracked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
That might come
that's
up.
going to come up.
Yeah, I think
It's gotta.
the camera lens is. Here comes the
Broken.
boy.
We present this to be like, objection! Your Honor, cat!
Hello, boy.
Can you, like, you can't examine it further, right?
Mm-mm. No.
The other photograph we have doesn't have a crack, does it?
No,
I don't
that
think
was.
so. I think we would have noticed if it had.
Yeah,
That's,
was-
that's
that was
the
also
official
a-
record one.
This is also like the crime photographer.
Who was getting real artsy with it.
Yeah.
I mean, he just stood in the doorway.
Right,
Yeah.
but this is like not a really great position when you're trying to like get a crime.
Oh yeah, there should be better ones.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if there isn't another photo. We just haven't been given it yet.
Anyway, following my interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. Those were her words. I went to English for a minute there.
As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. She continued to work in my laboratory under strict surveillance, of course.
At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as a detective accompanies her.
That detective I'm at liberty to divulge was me, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosanaga.
The
I'm
fucking,
so excited about this
the
job.
fucking turtle head bobs when he leans over.
I almost was gonna say I am at library to say, so that's where I'm at right now.
He's excited about his job because the past times he's been in court, he had to hide it.
Exactly. Or no, he didn't have to hide it. He had to hide the fact that he wasn't actually a cop. So he might still not actually be a cop, or he is.
I think at this point he's got to be a cop.
The entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems.
I think he became a cop after the first case of the last game, because he was explicitly on, like, security detail for Kazuma.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. It was extremely challenging to clear all other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach.
Oh, he's still bleeding.
God, I was gonna say he hadn't coughed yet. But fortunately, I am at peak physical fitness at the moment, so...
Peak physical fitness.
Peak.
With
I
your
was
fucking
able to carry out my
tuberculosis.
duty flawlessly. Don't worry about the foot. The turtle comes down and licks it.
Ew, what? No. Why?
Oh my! Inspector, you...
Inspector's is familiar, it's a blood
Well-
pact.
You do have something on your face now. I love her hair.
Oh my god, it's got... It's
How unsightly.
fucking
It's
got...
a beach towel!
Jesus
I-
Christ.
Just do apologize.
Does that mean you went to the beach too, Father?
Stop it. Shut up.
No. Fortunately, I had work to finish off. Giselle, I stabbed her.
Oh my god. Honestly?
No.
Wait.
But unfortunately,
No.
of course,
That would be devastating.
it meant that, as my assistant, Ray was invited to take my place.
He would have motive.
He would have motive. That was his mentor.
Of course, being a renowned author. I didn't like to decline the invitation.
He has the exact same motives as Ray. Like
Only
down to
I
a T.
had! I'd never have seen that awful sight!
That would
Got
be
his teeth.
devastating.
Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret! And this asshole! Relentless!
Very well. I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court.
Yay!
I was hoping you'd go for the next word too in regards to him. Rack.
You will give an account of all that you witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast. Cough, cough.
Of course, Your Excellency.
This guy's gonna fucking beef it.
He dies on the stand.
Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret I am. Look at that eye twitch.
So
Oh my god,
twitchy.
yeah.
So
Did Soseki kill this woman?
Please
That'd be fucking so funny though. Like someone who you defended as innocent in the first game is now an actual killer in the second.
Yeah. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in disguise. In this disguise.
I had just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me.
Soseki.
An amazing voice crack.
That crab! That fucking
That's
crab!
that goddamn crab!
Crab, the Baltimore crab.
Crab! Catch that crab!
There's so many
Like his voice
of
just
them.
fucking gives out.
I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question.
Yes! That girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly.
Soseki. Giselle was stabbed once.
Yeah, there we go.
Well,
There it is. I found it.
they're throwing you an easy one to start
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
I saw the blood on the blade, and it proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times.
Maybe wine?
Hosonaga.
It's
She
gonna be
was
wine?
stabbed once.
Maybe.
Maybe that's gonna be mine.
Yeah, there is wine in the sand.
Wine in the Sand is such a mom novel name.
Steamy
Indeed,
romance.
it does appear that from this testimony that both witnesses here present saw it.
Stabbed her in the same place every time, Nat.
The very moment of this heinous crime.
Perfectly sound logic. Her aim was true.
What?
Ooh, I like that angry face.
Now,
Yeah.
if you will recall, I promised evidence as well. What phrase did I use again? Ah, yes, it was damning evidence.
Who let you say damn?
Damning!
I'm going to have to... What have you there? I was going to make a penalty joke. What have you there, Counsel? A so-called fountain pen, is it?
Ulti.
Bob!
Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene whilst examining the body.
Lead by what?
What?
Penalty.
Did you say Bob? Am I losing it?
Yeah, the way
didn't
the
hear
way
The turtle
the
bobbed.
Oh,
way the
okay.
turtle bobbed.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
Ah.
didn't see the turtle. I just heard you say
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob.
It appears that in her dying moments, with her final ounce of strength,
She was trying to write a message. Her dying
In this
message. Her killer.
it says Leon. The victim
730.
killed a piece of the victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify the killer.
A pen.
Does it have purple ink?
What? What? What?
Your
I
Excellency!
went like 3 wrong voices there.
If you would cast your eyes over the photographic print of the crime scene once more.
Mm-hmm. You're really proud of that picture.
Yeah, where's the knife?
That's a
Oh.
good question.
It was
Goodness me.
apparently in Ray's hands. Pen.
Yes, the victim is clearly grasping something quite deliberately there in her hand.
Yeah, she was gonna write her message in the sand with a pen.
Not how you hold a pen. Ma'am.
That's right. The fountain pen. I
I'm gonna-
forgot that this was me.
I need to take a quick screen grab of this turtle.
Right? God,
someday,
this turtle.
someday, I feel like part of it's gonna be like maybe she's a lefty or something. But yeah, that's definitely not how you hold a pen correctly. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency. Do a quick little spin on it.
Ah! The owner's initials have been engraved into the ebonite barrel.
I'm not sure what this means for you. Oh.
R.M. Ray Membami. That's the initials of the defendant.
Oh, it's also the
Mhm. Good
initials
job,
of our
Aaron.
dad.
Fuck.
That's
No, it's
true.
not.
Alex.
It's not.
Alex.
No, it's not. It's
Eugen.
why.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's you,
But I
John.
was gonna get fucked up by that.
God, he turtle legs on Hasanaga's head. Look at him.
Oh man, we
Is
gotta
that
figure
a
out.
different Saseki portrait?
Yes.
God, it would have been wild if they pulled
Yeah,
a fucking
it
Kristoff again.
Former visiting student to the British Empire who returned to Japan
I don't think it's
after
out
a
of the
spell
question.
of bad luck with
Not
the
yet, yeah.
law. He's now a successful author and a witness to the current case. He's a successful author now, so his court record portrait is more distinguished.
Yeah, it's true. Look at Hitchcock. He has like the pathetic angle. Like, yeah, right. True, very true.
She came over and sat on my lap, and then when she decides she's done sitting on my lap, she yells at me. No, she can do whatever she wants.
Ah, no! Thunk.
Susato's been shot.
He's just wearing a bathing suit.
The
He's
fountain
wearing
then
his
will be
bathing
admitted
costume.
immediately as critical evidence.
That's what he was wearing at the
I
beach.
just so mad that he's just not wearing any pants or shoes.
I think he might be wearing shoes like a sandal.
Yeah,
I
he
saw like
was
a
wearing,
little line underneath his feet.
Yeah, he was wearing like
Oh,
flip flop.
Jesus.
He's wearing little flippies. The fountain pen
Well,
has
he's
been
got-
entered into the court record.
He's got his toenails polished.
As he deserves. I can't look at it yet, fuckers.
Oh,
Yeah.
they haven't given you the ability yet.
This was actually a Zoom call. No one is wearing pants.
Mm.
So, have I omitted anything? Decisive testimony and damning evidence? There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel.
DTDE.
I don't understand. The prosecutor, your ouchie of 9 months ago.
Alex, what?
He was a fucking punk.
The decisive testimony and damning evidence.
Okay.
DTDE.
Okay.
I just fully ignored it. Like, oh, Alex said something. I don't get it. Whatever.
I was
That's
trying
fair.
to figure out what your letters stood for. I needed to know.
Has none of this man's poise.
Poise is not the
His
word I
stats
use
got
for
better.
He leveled up.
His
Counsel.
Dark Soul stats got better.
Counsel for the defense, you may begin your cross-examination now.
He awoke the nightmare. Now he can see
I was
all.
on Dark Souls 3 earlier, so I went straight to Dark Souls boy, so I'm glad that's what you meant.
She fell asleep.
Naruhodo-san.
Naruhodo. That's Naruhodo. Her face is pressed to the entire desk. Yes, that means. Oh yes, me.
Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom?
Flashbacks.
Actually, there isn't even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom.
True.
Cousin Ryutaro, pull yourself together, please.
Alright, I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant. I still can't fucking say that word, and it's been a whole game.
Tough word.
Find inconsistencies in the witnesses' testimonies to prove that they're lying somehow.
You just need to, like, 5 minutes before stream, just, like, say judicial, like, 20 times.
Judicial assistant.
And then you'll get it.
Judicial. Judicial.
It's not the word judicial. It's the combination of judicial assistant. Like
Yeah.
it's the two words together that get me.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Judicial ass.
She is being
Yeah.
a little shit tonight, and she knows because I'm doing something important.
That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer would handle a cross-examination.
I love her little cheeks.
Let's see
Yeah.
what I can do.
She's
There's so much
cute.
like puffier in at these angles, and with her like new hair.
The witnessed scene.
Ba-ba-da.
So they're reusing a lot of the same music.
Mm-hmm.
I
I still can't
really
look
helps
at it.
make this feel like part
Fuckers.
2 of the same game.
Hold it! Oh, cute. Hold it.
In that jaunty disguise.
Jaunty.
Correct. Wait, no. I mean, it wasn't my first time I've worn this swimsuit for a dip in the ocean. It's tried and tested.
What? Okay.
Why are you so offended by that? Do what must be done to keep the Englishwoman under surveillance. Those were my orders that day.
Okay.
And this tried and tested outfit was the answer.
Being able to blend flawlessly into a crowd is an important part of a detective's job.
That's why you tied a turtle to your head.
Exactly.
Oh. Oh, amazing.
Oh my god.
I submerged myself in the salty water, leaving only Mr. Turtle floating inconspicuously on the surface.
I
Mr. Turtle?
fucking cannot.
Don't worry about the red band around Mr. Turtle's shell.
I'm gonna make this my fucking...
I was there for hours. I can hold my breath for a very long time.
I'm gonna make this my fucking Twitter banner. Christ.
The reason why he didn't witness the murder is because
He's under
He
fucking
was
water.
under the water.
Yeah,
He was
or-
in the salt water. He couldn't
or-
even open his
he
eyes.
was slowly drowning. Mr. Turtle loves the water.
Oh my... Yeah, I'm sure he
No
does.
way.
Uh-huh.
But there was no need for you to blend into the background on this assignment, really. Was there?
Oh, Shasta said BRB?
Oh.
Alex,
That-
you wanna?
If it made you late in arriving to the scene, I think perhaps you had your priorities wrong. Oh, actually, I didn't. Okay, well, I'm glad he got up because I was about to get on the ground.
Don't do that
I
to
appreciate
yourself.
your commitment.
Don't do
Yeah,
that to
despite your
yourself.
like current physical situation.
I'm better today.
Okay.
That's good to
Don't
hear.
overdo it.
Just hold your mic up.
That's true.
You can just move
Just
we don't
back
like
your
the
chair
Mike
up.
movie every time.
You're in a wheelchair, right? Just back your chair up.
Okay,
And talk from back here.
yeah.
Perhaps I shouldn't pursue this line of questioning any further at the moment.
Achievement
Don't question
unlocked.
Mr. Turtle.
Prime presser.
Because you pressed once?
I'm sure it's cumulative.
Prime, the first one.
Oh. They might be separate. That's interesting. For having successfully pressed a witness during the first cross-examination in both the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve.
There you go.
Man.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Did
there's
both.
like there's in-game achievements as well. I don't know if it is in the Steam version, but it's definitely in the Switch version.
Oh. No, stop.
Maybe because there aren't achievements on the Switch.
That's true. I got an achievement for the dialogue that I saw that was like Herlock dressed up as a woman.
I love him. Ah, you were describing the victim's scream, presumably, Suzuki-san. In more literary terms, you might say it was a scream that could have pierced the heavens.
Engen Papa.
Or the like.
You did cut out in the middle of it, which was
I
very
know,
funny.
I can see when my microphone activates, so I try to change the tones and pick up again. Of course, that's just a metaphor. We renowned authors are wont to describe things so.
Oh my god.
Suzuki-san wasn't at all like this in England.
Sew up his own ass.
Anyway,
Love this character
I-
development.
I spun around at the noise, and the beach hut immediately fell into my gaze. Yes, the beach hut. And I was about to talk to myself.
The area is popular with government ministers. Many have seaside retreats there for rest and recuperation. Locals are prohibited from entering the area, so it's always very quiet.
This is the
Until
beach
someone
episode.
dies.
Right.
The beach hut is a simple structure erected as a place for people to change or take refuge from the sun.
Look at the crab. There's the crab.
And she was very white. She was so white.
She had the big hat on.
Mhm.
Although the Englishwoman commandeered the hut for herself, which meant I was forced to change into my swimwear on the sand.
Oh.
Ah, I imagine that was rather embarrassing for you. Well, anyway, I tossed the crab aside and headed for the beach hut at a run.
I Soseki holding crab.
Oh, for your things to draw.
Oh, your art stream?
I need it. I need this fucking weirdo just holding a crab.
Or, in more literary terms, I decrabbed and beetled off hutwise.
Crabbed.
It's terrible.
I decrabbed.
Decrabbed. That's terrible. I need to go get some water.
That's smart. I'm gonna put popcorn in the microwave.
Ooh. Happy corn.
I'm gonna pee really quick. Be right back.
Illegal. Not allowed. Miles is banned from this channel.
Do you think the photographer was there while he was changing into a swimwear on the sand?
Yeah, I think the photographer was probably the biggest suspect right now. What was your question?
If he was there while Soseki was changing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, why not, right? Probably.
Who changed what?
If the photographer was there while Soseki was changing.
Oh boy.
She was forced to do it out in the open, apparently.
Oh my god. Just his fucking determined gaze.
It's a very anime glasses man pose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about now there being like a tasteful lewd of Soseki with a crab. Just like the fig leaf, but it's a crab.
Holy shit! Hell yeah!
Oh my god.
Yeah, please. I'm
no,
sorry. I'm sorry to the family of this actual historical figure.
I want,
Evidently his family thinks his whole thing is super funny.
Oh yeah.
You know that like the suntan lotion where it's like the girl and like a dog is like pulling at her.
Yes,
bathing
it's
suit?
him with the
It's
crab.
that- Yes.
What's the thing you're referencing?
So there's like a suntan lotion brand where the logo is a little girl like getting like a dog is like grabbing the back of her bathing suit, and she's like trying to get away. And I want that picture, but it's a crab instead of a dog, and it's Soseki instead of a little girl.
Levi, have you seen that?
I don't. I probably would recognize it, but it
It's,
doesn't come immediately to mind.
I'll put it in
And it's so elaborate.
voice chat, I guess. That should probably be. I'm gonna censor it.
Hold it!
Wait, By pair, you don't mean to say... But how could that be?
No, you misunderstand. I have popcorn. I can't hear anybody. Obviously, I have so much. I mean the victim and the defendant. Ray, Mambami San. God damn it, I can't. I need to put my headphones on.
We can
Hands
wait.
on.
I
Mambami
don't have
San.
hands.
You heard it first, everybody. Alex doesn't have hands.
Okay, hold on. Alright, why I heard that? What was that?
don't have
nothing. I'm
hands.
just letting everybody know you don't have hands. But you already said it, so it was redundant of me.
Alright, cool. Anyway, obviously I mean the victim and not the defendant.
Oh, it would have been helpful if you could have just said that from the outset.
If you jump to conclusions, you have to expect to fall flat on your face sometimes. Get fucked.
Dear me! Pinning your hopes on such an outside chance. Foolish. Very foolish.
It was really an outside chance. I just wish I'd realized... It really was an outside chance. I just wish I'd realized that before I said something silly.
So, Inspector, why don't you tell the court how exactly you found the aforementioned pair in the hut?
They were fucking very loud, Your Honor. Well, it was a sorry sight. A really grisly scene.
Let's not make sex jokes about the 16-year-old girl.
I forgot she was 16. Actually, I don't even remember if I knew that.
She says that they're the same age, and then the court record. But it's
Yeah, Susato's weird because, like, the complicated social stuff of, like, the fact
But
teenagers
she's in
didn't exist
college,
1980s.
right?
no, she's not actually.
Oh, okay.
It's just the fact that, like, the concept of being a teenager didn't exist at the time, and so she's treated like an adult.
Right.
So, like, it's a lot easier to forget in this kind of game than in other games.
I honestly thought, this whole time that she has been, or Chisato has been an adult. I parted the Norn curtain hanging in the doorway and stepped inside only to see the defendant leaning menacingly over the lifeless body of a victim sprawled out on the sand. Popcorn went down the wrong pipe, sorry. My glass is very nearly cracked at the ominous sight that met my eyes.
How thoroughly appalling.
He doesn't appear to be lying here. Well, Soseki-san, can you confirm what Inspector Hosonaga is saying, I wonder? You'd like a literary man's opinion. Tonal shift.
Yes!
No. Fucking buttons.
Hold it!
Sickos. Yes, yes.
Dabbed wildly. You actually saw her do it. Oh, indeed. The terrible spectre, the terrapin inspector, the bloody torrent, the author's torment! What? Hold on. The terrible spectre, the terrapin inspector, the bloody torrent, the author's torment. Right. Eek. I can't do that. Every sight and sound is still carved in my melancholy memory. That was my impression, at least, as a future literary sensation. Has he ever actually seen a dead person before? Because he thought that the woman in the first case was dead.
Right.
Like, in his case, was dead.
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Counsel, what on earth was that shrill, effeminate scream?
He didn't even see that woman fall over. He saw the guy fall over, right? Not that she was dead.
Oh yeah, what? Yeah. Oh, no, no. What are you insinuating? I'm as manly a Japanese man as you. Trying to figure out how to do the voice I used to do.
I wonder if I might interject here, Suseki-san. Something you said is troubling me. That was my impression. Were your words just now, I believe?
It's getting all twitchy.
So, do you mean to say you're not confident that you really did see what you've described?
There he is. There's our boy.
No! Yeah! I mean, I know what I saw! My ears didn't deceive me when I heard that scream, hence my eyes didn't deceive me either. Couldn't describe everything I saw vividly. I could describe everything I saw vividly. I could publish it all in tomorrow's newspaper serial. Power stance.
Right?
His belt matches the.
It sounds as though the next installment of I Am a Cat may take a macabre turn.
I think this is a fool's errand. The more we press your author friend on what he saw, the more entrenched he's going to become.
Oh dear. How awkward.
He's saying that he's going to be a sensation. So he's not yet. Do you think he hired that reporter to follow him around as like a
Oh.
marketing thing?
Oh my god. You're right. You're right.
God, I hope so.
Hold it!
She was stabbed multiple times? How can you be sure of that?
Very simply. From the blood on the blade.
Mm-hmm. That's how that works.
I'm a genius.
The blood?
They were like numbers. There's every new blood splatter, it said a new number out loud. When I entered the hut, I saw the defendant holding the blade raised up in the air.
Yes, that's right! I saw it too! Oh!
And I noted that there was blood on the blade already at that point. In other words, the victim had already been stabbed at least once by the time I arrived on the scene.
Yes, that's right! I saw it too!
And then the victim was already holding the defendant's fountain pen in her hand too. All of which means I can be sure the victim did not die instantly.
Yes, right! Saw it too! Maybe a year in London was too much for him. Seems like he's forgotten how to speak Japanese.
The logic of your argument is sound, at least.
Well, as I said, it is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly.
Perhaps it should have been that your guiding principle to protect the victim flawlessly. That's just my personal opinion, of course. The shade.
Just
He
like
starts
you,
Took me a second
crying.
to figure out.
just like
He
you
just
should have
starts
protected Kazuma, fucker.
And just like you should have protected John.
Stop letting this man guard people.
Counsel, you will refrain from mocking the witness.
It's
I'm
fucking
not mocking the
hiding.
witness, I'm crying.
No,
You're the witness.
he's telling Susato to stop mocking Hosonaga.
Oh no. I just have so many thoughts swirling around in my head. all I can do to stand here, wide-eyed and mute.
Goodness, my dear. You really must try to calm down.
But how am I supposed to find an inconsistency in what these two gentlemen are saying? Oh, sorry. I've never been the character in this perspective before, ever. So I keep forgetting that I have to check the name. Like, I've literally never, because I've never been like the narrator before. And because Edward didn't have an assistant.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
I don't see why either of them would have any reason to lie.
What you must remember, I think, is that witnesses may inadvertently lie at times. For various reasons. A misunderstanding, a mistaken observation, a delusion, even.
Ah, a delusion.
Welcome back, Em. I'm sorry that your cramps are bad.
What's important? Oh.
That's you.
No,
that is definitely you.
What's important is that we determine the truth, and there's only one sure way to do that.
Yes. With evidence, of course.
Spoken like a true judicial assistant. During witness testimony, you can use E to pick a piece of evidence to present for consideration. So you need to listen carefully to each statement and compare what's said to the details in the court record. If you find some conflicting information, that may be the inconsistency you're looking for.
Yes. It's all about inconsistencies.
Once you've identified a witness's statement that appears to conflict with a piece of evidence, present the evidence to the witness with awe, and the way ahead will present itself to you, I'm sure.
Yes. All right then. I'll consider the details of all the evidence in the court record against each statement to find an inconsistency. I hope I'm up to the task.
Don't forget that you can have the witnesses repeat their statements as many times as you'd like. Everyone has to start at the beginning, remember? So those wide eyes are quite forgivable. And besides, there's no one else to defend the poor girl.
You're right. You'll listen to the testimony again from the start.
I think it's this one because she
Yeah.
was like she wasn't dead yet, especially when you pressed it. Yeah.
Oh, I love her objection.
With that accusatory cry that just welled up from deep within me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san have stood here at this bench, the stakes have been very, very high indeed.
Yeah.
New music. Finally.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck, that's good.
Wait, is this the alternative Susato theme that we heard in the...
Oh. I don't think so. This is too triumphant, and hers was really quiet.
What's the meaning
I
of
don't
that
recognize this.
menacing pose, Council?
Alex and
Maybe
Shasta
related
went
motifs.
through the bonus content the other day.
Yep.
Ah.
There are a lot of unused songs.
I'd like the witness to clarify something for me. Who? What? Where? When? How?
It's like a wounded dog.
He is.
Not you, Soseki-san.
No, he's a cat.
No, he's...
This query is directed at Inspector Hosonaga.
At me.
Luke?
Luke at me, which was also me.
Yeah. In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times.
Yes, that's right. As I said when I entered the hut, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like a murderous demon.
And yet, that cannot be.
What?
Get to the point, please, counsel.
Book.
In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed one time only.
Noise.
In other words, Inspector Hosonaga's testimony is clearly flawed.
Sorry.
It's clearly flawed and yeah, bullshit.
Ah!
And Soseki-san. Me. You claim to have seen Membami-san in the throes of stabbing the victim. Yes, I did. Wildly! But both you and the inspector confirm the same point. That there was already blood on the knife that you saw the defendant holding.
Yes, and...
It's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once. Therefore, there is no way that there could have been blood on the knife if that single stabbing hadn't already occurred. True.
Then what exactly is your contention, counsel? Are you ever going to tell us?
Jesus.
Yes, Your Excellency. There is only one logical conclusion. What Soseki-san, in fact, saw was not the moment the defendant stabbed the victim at all, but the moment the defendant, in fact, withdrew the blade from the victim's body. That can't be.
Movie.
Excellent work, Susato. You exploded at them with that objection, then proceeded to pull them apart systematically.
Objection! Well, this takes me back. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in that trial 9 months ago. A half-witted child with a half-baked objection attempting to steal the show.
You're right. There were certain similarities. Except that so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution, who has only half a head of hair.
Oh my god.
Slander! My head is quite adequately dressed. In any case, all this talk of stabbing and withdrawing me multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference.
What? Why not?
Engage your brain, young man. When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn the blade ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw. The knife was already tainted with blood, because the accused had already stabbed the victim.
Ah!
All you have successfully shown with your little display is that the mustached author is prone to moments of extravagance.
I'm in agreement with the prosecution. If the defendant was seen wielding the blade at all, that is sufficient grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion.
But if she was withdrawing the blade...
Then we are back where we started.
Sorry?
Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student girl is innocent as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim? And with the demon's cold-blooded composure, too. The prosecution demands an explanation. And it had better be good.
Why did Ray pull out the knife?
Ah, yes. Going for the jugular.
She was
think
stabbed in
that's
the back.
Yeah. We all went there.
We've been through this rodeo before.
Mm-hmm.
What does Father mean by that?
She was a medical student. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's trying to help.
Let the court hear your answer then, counsel.
Truth is, I don't really know. But I have to come up with a plausible reason here, or we don't have a case. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife blade out of the victim's body was surely so she could...
Save her life.
According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant.
That's correct. It's thought she would have remained conscious for a short while after sustaining the injury.
Indeed, giving her the time to take hold of this piece of evidence that clearly indicates her killer.
The point is... Being a medical research assistant, Mimbami-san was compelled to act when faced with a wounded victim. Instinctively, she pulled the blade out in an attempt to save Miss Brett's life.
Wouldn't doing that...
Kill her
Make-
more, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Right, but if she was prepared to, like, do something about it
Staunch the wound.
immediately.
Yeah. Which, as a medical student, would be more likely than your average person.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? It would seem this is the best we can expect of this young yokel.
Indeed.
Is it just me, or did it suddenly feel much colder in here? I want my cape back.
Your Excellency, if I may.
Speak, witness.
I would like another opportunity to testify. In respect to the slipshod assertion I just put forward by the yokel defense counsel, I mean.
The assertion put forward by the...
Right.
Not you.
Yes. That was a slip of my voice, not my words.
Slipshod?
An excellent idea, Inspector. Our young yokel hopeful is a modicum of knowledge when it comes to the law, it seems. But in matters of medicine, he appears to possess not one iota of common sense.
Very well, Inspector. I will permit your request. You will testify again before the court on the subject of the defense counsel's assertion.
Yes, sir, I will do so flawlessly. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Okay.
Is what you just said true, Inspector? Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause the wound to bleed heavily?
That's what we just talked about. Yes. Think of the weapon itself as a stopper in the wound that prevents excessive blood loss. Until the doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, that stopper shouldn't be removed.
Oh, I see.
Ha! This is why yokels should stay on the farm. Even a quack
Rip.
from some obscure mountain village would have such basic knowledge. Anyone who's ever given someone a little poke with a knife and pull it out again knows it.
Sir?
What? You have something to tell us?
Oh, well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see, or pulled the blade out of a wound. So,
That's
Kids
the door.
these days.
Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up here to behave like a bandit.
Shut up!
Father, is it true what they're telling me?
You guys are so bad at this.
I feel like he exclusively whispers.
Yeah, I think this is mostly said, like, this is a quiet convo.
Well, you shouldn't say it at all. So, like, on
It
the
would be
opposite.
safer, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's basic remedial knowledge for medics. Ray would have been well aware of it. If you were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways.
But then, why would Ray have done it? Could she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge that would be fatal for Miss Brett?
I don't know.
Ray never once mentioned anything about the knife to me. It seems almost impossible to believe, but... could my friend actually have... Here we go.
Susato!
Yes?
Pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we're here.
Ah!
Counsel, it's time for your cross-examination.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
However, I must warn you that if your cross-examination fails to identify any issue with the established facts, I will be moving my adjudication I will be moving to my adjudication immediately afterwards. You got this.
I understand. Believing in your client and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I had no idea it would be this hard.
This might be a press one, just because, tutorial.
Yeah. I was just looking.
You say doing it without thinking could be a problem. Does that mean if you used due care and attention, it would be alright?
I wouldn't have thought this needed spelling out, really, but... accidentally stroking the turtle. The blade is like a stopper in the wound. Remove it and serious hemorrhaging will occur. In other words, a medic wound would need to be present before any attempt was made to withdraw the blade. She's kind of a medic. Doing it without thinking would be madness. You just can't do it. Is he being sexist because she's a girl? So she couldn't be a medic.
Well, thank you for such a thorough explanation.
You see, Council, when you act without thinking, the result is a bloodbath.
Back to the witness testimony, please.
Hold it!
In that case, there's an obvious explanation here.
Which is...
Clearly, the defendant, Raymond Bami-san, does not possess an ounce of sense.
Oh, great.
Oh.
That's something.
What do you think about that, Professor Mikotoba?
I'm not sure that you should be labeling your best friend as lacking in common sense.
You don't understand. Your Honor, she's a herbo.
Well, I thought it'd be better than labeling her as a murderer.
I don't know young people today. If that's friendship, I don't understand it.
We do it to Levi all the time, it's fine.
Ow.
Jesus Christ, his hands are so big.
Oh, those hands. Ooh. Mm.
No, I'm gonna end the call and end the stream. We're not doing this.
Again.
Careful, Counsel. A lack of common sense can be a very dangerous thing.
Oh dear. That recoiled on me rather badly.
That's life, I'm afraid. Lesson everyone must learn.
She's here. Like, she's here and listening to this. You're gonna have to, like... Alright. Hopefully
There will
you
be
can...
apologies later.
Yeah. Hopefully you can see now that this is really basic medical knowledge. Being involved in medical research, Mimbami-san may certainly have been aware of it. My mouth can't do that.
Oh, I feel you.
Too many M's.
Hold it!
The defendant had suddenly encountered someone she knew lying on the ground bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently. Her delicate sensibilities.
I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. The woman is a medical research assistant. I can't imagine she would behave so irrationally.
Oh, but irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative, isn't it?
Oh, dear.
Oh dear, you're being sexist. You
It
have a
is the
lot to
herbo.
learn about women.
She is saying, but she's a herbo.
Only a small-minded man could have such bigoted views.
Oh dear. Perhaps I'm letting my male persona take hold a little too much.
It's too in character.
Now if you prove that she didn't kill someone, you are legally proving that she's an idiot. Well,
If she
Have
actually
I-
pulled the knife out, if that was
That's
really what was
true.
happening.
Well, have I managed to convey the basics now? That should cover the medical side of the argument. That's such a God, what's the word I'm looking for? Patronizing grin.
Yeah.
Whatever the motive, it just isn't in Membami-san's nature to do anything to do something so awful.
Okay. But she had both motive and opportunity. It's very hard to argue against that.
But you don't know the defendant.
Objection! Susato, please. And you, counsel, do not appear to know the law!
Ah,
Yes, evidence is the only way to convince the court of your argument, not feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings.
With this fledgling to defend her, I would almost say I pity the accused.
so do I.
Inspector, you will reiterate your point about the defendant's motive, please.
Yes. Miss Brett was in many ways the sworn enemy of Membami-san.
Hold it!
Well, yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Membami-san's talent and offered her the position of assistant despite her being a woman. She was extremely grateful to him.
Yes, the Englishman appears to have been a very broad-minded individual.
He had a genius for a daughter.
Mm-hmm. Shasta died. Dr. Wilson. Alright.
Dr. Wilson, had no time for outdated traditions. I forget this man is me as well. He met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Membani-san's abilities.
Clearly the defendant was in the man's debt, which only serves to prove my point.
This is hopeless.
This is hopeless.
It's not me.
I can't find a single crack in his testimony anywhere. I love you, Molly.
Molly's very used to reading the blue text.
Uh-huh. I know that vibe.
If Ray knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life further,
There's been a few times that when coming back from Ouchie to the other side, my brain is like, it's yours. So...
I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it. I had that problem with after Ace Attorney 1 with Edgeworth. I'm like, I'm every prosecutor.
Susato, it's at times like these when it's especially important to remember the fundamentals.
The fundamentals.
Oh, okay.
Evidence is what counts in the courtroom, isn't it?
Are we now gonna get to spin, finally?
Of course! But I've been through the court record dozens of times already.
I think perhaps you're forgetting something, though.
You haven't
forgot
given
how
me
to
the
spin.
ability to look at the fucking pen yet.
No, you forgot. You have forgotten. You needed to take evidence at face value. You can and must examine in greater detail.
Ah.
Spin it around a little bit.
Fuckers.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
I realize this is your first time playing the role of lawyer in the courtroom.
Speaking directly to Miles specifically.
I played Edgeworth once. He defended Iris for like a hot second.
So if you need reminding of the rudiments, you need only ask. I'll do my very best to help.
Examine the evidence in the court record. It's an idea, certainly. What should I do? I got this. Come to think of it, Kazuma-sama and Naruto-san were always turning evidence over and over in their hands. Yes, I need to examine things in greater detail with space.
Space!
With space!
Ah, by the look in your eyes, I see it's coming back to you.
I'm just really nervous.
Go through the court record again and have a thorough look at everything. You may just find a clue.
That's an interesting symbol.
The fuck is that? Oh, I love this art.
This is really good art.
That's really good.
Mhm.
Also
That's
makes
fantastic.
her a lot more convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks really good. There's some sort of emblem here. Look. But it isn't a Yume University one.
It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. A business of some kind.
Some kind of like super spy.
It's the fucking reporter's pen.
Because he's media or some shit. It's like a journalist badge.
But that would seem to imply that the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray.
Sorry, I thought I'd muted my thing before I moved my chair. I'm sorry.
It wasn't very loud.
It was bad noises.
I'm at
Oh,
my
was it?
aunt's house, and like I'm on like a tile floor, like a wooden chair.
Barely heard it.
As well as an emblem of some description.
Okay, so how does that help us here, though?
It
We
means that
say,
it
hey,
can't.
what is
Can you
this?
open the pen?
It means that it can't be Ray's pen because it's not from the university.
Oh, he does have one of them. He has something that
Is
says something with
Is
a
it
pen.
purple?
If we take off the pen's lid,
No, it's just the fountain pen. It doesn't have an ink in it.
There's no way you can. That's so weird. Okay, there we go.
now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we?
Yes. Inside's a gun.
There's no ink in it.
This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink.
Yes, you fill it by drawing ink from a bottle through the nib.
Is something wrong, Father?
There's no ink in it.
Oh yes, you're right. There's no ink in it. Well, it could just be on the verge of running out, I suppose. There could be little ink in it.
Was it red? Was it red and they made it look like blood?
There is
Interesting.
Can you turn the pen to look at? Yeah, okay, you can't actually see the color.
There's no color.
The RM initials are very clearly engraved here.
They're engaged.
They're engaged.
And the fact that Miss Brett was clinging to this pen in her dying moments is very clearly a message too.
To identify her killer, you mean?
I don't think there can be any doubt that this is a key piece of evidence in this case.
Cultural / linguistic question here. Why would a Japanese person? It did like I guess is this a localization thing that they did, or
Well,
like
with
how
the,
would
the name?
Yeah, how would a Japanese person's initials even like how would you indicate that? Wouldn't it just be
Fair.
like
MR.
I'm actually very interested in where my confusion comes from.
If
like
the
if-
reporter's Japanese too, and it's his pen, then I think it is just a localization thing.
Yeah. But like, how would they even do that? Like, I don't know linguistically how that works in Japanese, right? How do you like have?
Well, there was a W
initials?
on. I wonder if it's just the first character. Like, if you look at Ouchie's clothing, like the symbol on his shirt is the first character of his name.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, just like
I
one of
wonder
the,
if
one of
I-
the multiple characters. Right. Something
Is
like that.
is my best guess?
That would make sense.
Yes, I'll do it straight away. Oh.
Bleeding. Knowledge. Knife.
Knowledge.
Motive. Where am I supposed to present
Yeah,
the
that's the
pin?
thing. That's the thing. It's like, did he say? I don't remember him saying fucking anything about the pens. Maybe it's
I
like
guess
maybe
motive?
trying to say maybe she's not a medical. Yeah, I don't know. I know he talked about the pen.
Did you
when
look
he
at all the
pressed
other? Is there any other stuff to look at? Like any other items you can check, or is just the
No,
pen?
The only other things in the record are the post-mortem report and the photograph. And the
Okay, I wasn't
article.
gonna read. Like sometimes you can flip.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I can
Oh,
look at
now
the
we
article
can.
now.
Oh, they changed it.
I'm allowed to look at the
Yeah,
article
before you
now.
can do it.
Miraculous England returnees tell all. This is the interview with you and Soseki-san. Is it, Father? It looks as though it was quite an exchange. What the hell were you two doing?
Yes, he became a little over-animated when he was talking about his time in England. The photographer managed to capture the moment his hand karate chopped me on the neck.
Oh, okay.
He did hit him in the neck.
Did hit him in the
Great.
throat.
I do hope you weren't hurt.
Incredible. What's on this side?
This is the newspaper from Soseki-san. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Of course there is. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from Yumai Medical Research Laboratory.
She did taste her own medicine.
Oh my
Did
god.
they poison the ink in the pen? Or the wine? I guess it's the
I
wine,
think
right?
it's in the wine.
From Yumei's Medical Research. Father, isn't that your lab?
What the? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen?
How did
What
you
if the
not
poison
know?
was in the pen? What if that's why it's empty? They put the poison in the pen.
Pen, yeah, use the pen to fill the thing, fill the...
Mm.
That's
So
a
they
thing
did
that happens.
so they did this thing to her that she did to John by giving her
Yeah, and
another
then-
wound to show that to say like, oh, she died from the clear stabbing.
It's this
And
morning
if you-
paper that Soseki-san gave us.
If you sat in the chair, she might not have noticed for a good bit. Because she would have seen, if she sat up against the wall, she would have been leaned to not collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying you didn't know?
As embarrassing as that is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I have not heard any such thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned his information?
Come to think of it,
Oh my god. This has nothing to do with anything that's happening right now. There is an illustration, and you maybe can't see it because the stream quality is bad. There's an illustration for like, it's gotta be for like hair growth.
Oh,
And it's got
yeah.
a little cartoon drawing
oh
of
my god, I
Ouchie.
can see it.
Oh, that's his hope, isn't it?
That's
Snake
his
oil.
hope.
Do, 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 do,
Anyway.
do. Do, 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 do.
There was no article mentioning this story in our paper this morning, was there?
It's a highly toxic poison that we've been working on in the strictest confidence. I'd put Ray in charge of the project.
Ah, no.
Oh, fuck.
Ray? She was managing it?
Night Am again.
Good night, Em.
If what's written here is true, it means that she tried to hide the theft from me. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow.
I don't believe it.
We need to read this article very carefully.
An article about poison that was stolen from a laboratory at Yumei University. Even my father who is responsible for the lab, knew nothing of the incident. The article about poison has been entered into the court record. Poison.
I don't know. He would also have access to it, and he could just be feigning that he doesn't know about it being stolen.
So do we say she tried to pull it out because she thought it was poison?
Maybe, yeah.
that,
I think
that
so.
might be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to save?
We got all the health.
I don't know how much you care about the health.
I don't, but I will save because that's a good idea.
Just say in general, yeah. Having those.
No, not.
It's been a while.
Objection!
Nice. There it is.
No, there is one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound.
What?
Nani?
The yokel not only has a poor grasp of law, but is also a poor loser. Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified?
It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory at the Imperial Yume University.
The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison is
Shut the
no
fuck up.
relevance in this case.
And if she was poisoned, that explains why her pupils were fucked up.
We're all fucked up. But,
Prosecutor Ouchie, you will let the defense speak.
thank you.
But a newspaper article? The court cannot rely on the kind of hearsay those wretched publications carry.
Counsel for the defense. I am going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mentioned affirms your assertion. Fuck.
Okay.
Your Excellency!
Yes, of course. Thank you. We would never have done something to further endanger Miss Brett's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says...
Why is the poison being developed?
Deadly in tiny quantities.
Yeah.
The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on a knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes. Did we read the entire newspaper?
Nope. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research
I love us.
Laboratory. Following a lecture at Yume University by Saseki Natsume on the 11th of August, it's come to light that a very disturbing incident took place. A deadly poison being secretly developed at the university's forensic science laboratory was stolen. Even the smallest amount entering the body, either via the mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade, would prove fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot detect the newly developed chemical. The university would have to be consulted. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death. Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxin. It's apparently an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military.
Of course. Thanks, military.
If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, would it explain why the defendant, Membami-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible? Yes, the truth is, it was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body.
Ugh.
Objection! This is complete and utter nonsense!
Not at all. The defendant drew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life, and the prosecution cannot deny that possibility.
Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death was hemorrhage. The word poison appears nowhere in the document.
Well, that's...
Because she removed the knife, so she didn't die by poison.
That's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold.
Oh, please, this is clearly desperation, the weasel's last breaking of wind. Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, as I believe the defense is well aware.
That was quite a phrase to use, actually.
We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway.
In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then, or her argument makes no sense.
Exactly. Well put, Inspector. On what grounds did she do it? Yokel?
I should have your job. You should give me your job.
What?
Why did Ray suspect the stolen poison was involved? If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds. There's coffee outside.
Yeah. Okay. We spent too much time together.
What?
You can't possibly.
I'm allergic to coffee.
From your expression, Counsel, it would appear these are not empty words.
That's why I'm coughing all the time.
But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Bless you.
I'm well aware of that.
Looks like
Sorry.
you're allergic to coffee as well.
I've seen it many times from my place at his side in the old Bailey.
In that case, Counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article?
Take that!
Clear link between this case and the poison in the article. Oh.
I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the post-mortem report, which reads... Extreme meiosis, pupil constriction was observed in the victim.
Yeah.
Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea. So please do tell me. Presumably, the fact this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death.
Well,
Under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that is most certainly unusual, yes.
what are you doing, you yokel detective?
I don't think you know what yokel means.
In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, ending with the acute contraction of the pupils prior to death.
She does use her magic book.
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back,
Molly got sent to the Columbo dimension.
happened to notice this...
We only got the what? And then he just vanished.
Notice the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely.
Yes. As a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt.
Prosecutor Ouchie, I think you'll agree, this is very compelling evidence.
You! Yokel student! Yokel professor!
Yuckle! I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions.
No!
Yujin Mikotoba.
Yes, Your Excellency.
I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's argument. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please.
It pains me to have to admit it. But I'm afraid I don't know.
You don't know.
The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft.
Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded?
No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say.
Ha! Listen to the bumbling academic! Unaware of the theft of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads of it in the newspaper?
In case you hadn't noticed, there's a murder going on. I was a bit distracted. I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
Father.
A pitiful situation for a university professor. You should have more control over your students, rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfounded!
Who is holding it?
Ray?
It's me.
So,
None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault.
Ray?
Membami-san, you stand accused here. Your outbursts like this will not be tolerated.
But it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day.
What?
So you knew?
I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Saseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was.
Why didn't you let me know immediately?
I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea who the thief was.
The thief? You don't mean... Fuck.
Yes, of course. It was that dainty English woman.
Ms. Giselle Brett,
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison!
Well now, whatever do you mean?
Oh, love it.
And then,
Go back
she
to
suddenly
Big Dead
got
Bitch.
to her feet, before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes they'd shrunk to tiny pinpoints.
I don't believe it.
In other words, you realize that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison.
My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips whilst I'd been with her, which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body.
On the blade of the knife, in her back. Sorry, my stream delayed.
And that train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Yes. If the amount
Hi.
that had entered her...
Now a little bit underwater.
Am I good? Am I here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, my call dropped.
Ah.
Yes, if the amount that had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. That's what I'd hoped. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time.
Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here. In this courtroom now.
Your Excellency, do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, Membami-san, if that's the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed.
Well,
You have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim motivated by revenge.
Objection!
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you?
Oh, I have evidence, and it is very much conclusive.
What's the prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there, I'm sure of it.
he came up with some fake evidence.
Shit. You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Prosecutor Ouchi.
Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student.
What?
I had imagined there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you've brought this on yourself.
You can already see that the picture's correct. Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Through the hole in the back of the hut.
It's an extremely obvious crack.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah. Also,
We
look at
see
her
her
fucking...
face.
You can see her eyes.
Yeah,
She's
you
got
can see her
she's
eyes,
got a
but-
face.
Kinda.
She does
We
have
got
one.
just our eyes now.
Yeah.
Can a more damning shot exist? The cruelty in the air on that beach is almost palpable. This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature. For it shows the precise moment that Membami-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back.
No, that's not true. No.
I don't believe it.
Order, order, order! Counsel for the defense, was it you who was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom?
No, what?
Like a lady. Like a woman.
Perhaps his voice has yet to break. These yokels are slow of mind and slow to mature.
I'll show you who's slow to mature.
Careful now. Sasato is starting to show her face here.
It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent photographic print as evidence.
The incriminating photograph is
That also
entered
proves he
into
was
the
around
court
to...
record.
It proves he was around to steal it too, since we have a photo the same day it went missing. With the same
He
track.
would have been at the university that day.
Yeah.
Can't believe he's had a photograph like this up his sleeve the entire time. It's such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words.
Wait a minute, I don't understand. How did you... I mean, who took that photograph?
Ray.
That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert attention!
Oh,
Objection!
That's such an absurd it's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony.
I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Pardon?
You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday. But there was nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown.
Goodness.
Are we to understand that? Understand then, counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless believe it is fit for submission as evidence in the Supreme Court?
When you first produced that print before, I noticed you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you?
Silence, you yokel student and blabbering professor! What matters is the blatant truth that this print so eloquently expresses.
The defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly this isn't the moment the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but...
The moment it was withdrawn. Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings.
Indeed. Without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. and the scene it captures is without doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court. If the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear.
Oh no.
Okay.
Susato, this is the time for you to fight. If what you've established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim.
Yes, we just need to prove that somehow.
You'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you came up against Takatsuchi Ouchi in the court of law.
Just Ketsu Ouchie.
I feel like we did the butt hurt last time too.
Really?
I really remember that joke coming up again.
Might have been
to rewatch that
might have
VOD.
been just the ouchie part, because that's still so funny.
Right,
I
but
think
the
ouchie to pain is like
butt
such
hurt.
a great joke.
Is specifically what I'm talking about.
Talking about?
feel-
I don't know. If I can't determine who took this photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be a way of working out who took it.
If only.
Well, counsel.
Your Excellency, the burning question is who took that photograph. And the truth is...
Yeah. I guess we don't know technically, right?
No, I
we don't
have
know
the
who the
answer.
photographer is. Okay. Right, but like,
But
The answer is
Soseki knows.
the answer is the person who did the interview.
oh, okay.
This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print, is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
What? No, you can't possibly. But as you so boldly claim that you can, please do enlighten us.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name.
How utterly underwhelming. Did you really believe that you could?
However, I'm able to present evidence. The defense has a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity.
Very well then, counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mystery photographer?
Take that!
What is that? The newspaper again? Raucous England returnees tell all.
It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph. If you look at it closely, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side.
Ah, yes, indeed. They had already caught my eye, as it happens.
What of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably, from the branches of a tree or the like.
Yes, inside.
There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you.
Now, if you look closely at this photograph...
Good gracious.
Yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present on this photograph too.
I like that everyone has the same bathing suits.
Well, that tells us nothing. Ha! Yes, it's the shadow of some kind, definitely from the branches of a tree.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside a hut at the beach, Council.
That was a good noise. What's quite remarkable about it is that the two patterns are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired?
The curious matching pattern that appears on both photographic print is a result of...
This is
Some
a
tree
tree
branches.
It's an artist.
Obviously.
He puts a tree next to all of his
He
pictures.
carries one around.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs.
With the photographic device?
Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lens must be scratched.
Len.
Its singular lens. And that the scratched lens causes unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera.
But there must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one. Objection!
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Ouchie, that one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article.
A newspaper! Yeah!
That's right. The author of the article is the mystery witness to this crime.
What? Wah!
Sorry?
Sorry?
Mm. Oh.
No!
It's the guy I hired to follow me around.
Guy I hired to fire...
Set me on fire!
to praise my mixtape.
I see why you were called a raucous in England returnee. Fuck me.
What are you yelling about? You've already testified.
It's many memo.
Oh my god.
It's many memo, I tell you, many memo.
So many memes.
Many memo.
I hate
We got his
this.
pictures!
I hate this.
We can hold on this for a little longer, I think. Just
I wish they held
Look at
on the
those
thread.
eyes.
I wish that his mustache were twitching.
I wish that he
Yeah, I wish he
blinked.
wasn't completely still.
It's a photograph.
Look at this photograph.
It
I
is.
closed the stream.
I'm disappointed that they didn't commit to it being from the photographer and give us the lines on each of the four.
So Seki-san, what was that? Did you say many memo, which ends with starts with an M?
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Show You News, ha,
Ha
has been
ha
hounding me, following my every move.
ha.
A reporter by the name of Writin' Many Memo.
I
There
hate
you go.
it. I hate it. I hate
Yes,
it. I hate
hounding me
it.
from dawn till
I
dusk.
hate it.
That's actually a much better
That's
pun because like
yeah.
shoyu is like a thing, like shoyu ramen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Writing many
But this
memo.
one sucks. No, this one sucks.
He sure be writing many memo.
Ah, now that he mentions it.
Why did they let this man into the courtroom?
He's not in the courtroom anymore. He fucking booked it.
He's gone now. Oh,
but he's got ink on his hand, but he's writing with a pencil.
No,
Yeah.
but look at his armband. It's the same symbol as the
Oh,
pen.
shit.
Yeah. Nice little drop of that. That's great.
Oh, I wish we could go back and see if you could actually see a scratch on his camera lens. A camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right.
Here he is, stuck in the middle with us.
And there I am, stuck in the middle with... I didn't get any memo.
How dare you have done this?
Incredible.
I summoned the joke into being.
I hate it. Shoyu is also a soy sauce brand.
Yeah.
Or the Japanese
So-
name for soy sauce.
So you're saying that this picture was taken by...
That bitch over there.
By many memo. Yes, my lord, your excellency, Esquire.
Wow, he's such a fucking snitch.
Officer! Find this newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom.
It's already here.
We will adjourn for a short recess in the meantime.
It's like 2 seconds. He's here.
Oh, yes, your excellency.
I want us to step outside into the recess chamber, then immediately get called back in.
As you say, Your Excellency. Not a brand, it just means soy sauce. I see. That is very funny.
Yeah. And one more thing.
And one more thing.
And one more thing. Alright. I
That's
want
the
this
voice this guy
knife.
should have had.
Yeah. I want this knife. The murder weapon. Examined for traces of poison.
Uh-huh.
The judge is Columbo. He's been Columbo.
We will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task.
Insufferable.
Understood?
Should have been Hosanaka if you were gonna.
It's true.
I can't do it.
I mean, that's just my gumshoe voice anyway.
That's true.
Meh.
What was that?
Mini memo!
Oh my god. He was prepping. I was like, what is the hand thing that he just did? He was just prepping himself to bonk.
He's done it before. He did it at the beginning of the court segment to like.
Wait a second, the hair is
himself.
growing precisely where he hits his forehead.
Oh my god.
It's a little.
It's a
little
cushion.
It's a
Yeah.
little-
He's growing a cushion.
Ooh, we're blue now.
Because it's resolve. It's 2.
We're blue now. Now you're blue.
13th August, 10:41 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature Defendants Antechamber 3. I'm so sorry, Susato. I should have told you about the toxin.
Ray.
You have a strong sense of responsibility, I know. That's why you decided to shoulder the burden alone.
No, that's not it at all. I was scared of my failure coming to light, that's all. So I hoped to retrieve the substance from the Englishwoman before anyone found out. Before the trial started, do you remember what you said, Susato? That you had no doubt in your mind about my innocence? That you'd stand by me to the last?
I remember. Weird to see Susato's name again.
Yet I didn't deserve your trust in me. I hid important details from you, Susato. I completely betrayed your faith in me. me, Susato. I deserve it. No, in fact, throw me to the floor. No, that's too good for me as well. Drag me through the city streets.
I'm no better, you know.
Oh,
Even though in my heart I knew you'd pulled the knife blade from Miss Brett's back. There was just a brief moment when, in my mind, I doubted you.
Susato.
I'm sorry. After I stood here and promised you that I'd stand by you and always be on your side, I betrayed your faith in me too. And as such, I failed you as a lawyer.
Oh, no, no.
I think the situation has taught both of you a valuable lesson. Placing your unbridled faith in another is no easy task.
Yes, Father. That fact has certainly struck home. Which is why I can see more clearly now. So, Ray,
Yes?
can you find it in your heart to forgive me?
Oh, Susato. You know you'll always be a gallant, dashing lawyer in my eyes now.
Oh, Ray.
I was so scared, you know. When it happened, I didn't know what was going on. The Englishwoman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying. I know it was you who stole the poison!
Alex?
Sorry. Well, now, whatever do you mean?
And then, a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet. Before collapsing on the floor in front of me with a knife in her back. It all happened right before my eyes.
And you were the only people in the hut at the time.
That's right. Just Miss Brett and myself. There was no one else. So I just don't understand how she could possibly have been stabbed like that.
A great mystery indeed.
I still can't believe it happened. That's why I just couldn't bring myself to speak up.
It'll be alright. However it happened, whatever really went on by the sea that day, I promise you that I'm going to prove everything you've said is true.
Spoken like a true Mikotoba. Now, I think we should discuss what's coming up in the trial, don't you? We don't have much time. We must make sure we have all facts in order.
Yes, I expect the poison is going to come under close scrutiny in the upcoming proceedings. The police should hopefully have identified it on the blade by now.
The trouble is, it's a completely new laboratory synthesized blend of alkaloids. The police won't have any way of testing for it.
Oh, I see.
Yes, without this chemical reagent, it's impossible to detect the toxin.
I'm glad you just have that in your pocket.
Chemical reagent?
I sent a colleague of mine off with some earlier to deliver to police headquarters.
Nice.
Think perhaps you should have some as well, though, just in case.
The chemical reagent has been entered into the court record.
What's the matter, Susato? You're suddenly very quiet.
It's this newspaper article?
It's this newspaper article.
Not me. It's not me.
Exclusive, deadly poison stolen from my medical research laboratory. I'm wondering how the information got out, given that it was a government secret.
It was all the Englishwoman's doing.
What? What?
It was when the professor and Saseki-san were
What?
being interviewed at the laboratory. That so-called English lady swaned in and without any compunction said to Professor Mikotoba,
Oh, Professor, surely your guest would love to hear about your work on that substance there.
It put me in a very awkward position, to be frank.
why? I just don't understand why she was allowed to still be at the fucking university. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But Saseki-san's curiosity was piqued, so I had little choice but to give him a cursory introduction.
I mean, you could have also just said no.
So then, Seki-san knew about the poison.
Yes, and it's highly likely that the reporter who was writing up the story about us would have caught a glimpse of the toxin too.
And so he knew it was stolen because he stole it.
Yes.
This Memo-san. By the way, did that reporter join you all when you went to the beach?
Oh. No, I don't remember the reporter being there.
Indeed, he shouldn't have been. I very much doubt anyone would have wanted him there.
Oh?
A known criminal had been given permission by the authorities to bathe by the seaside. Saseki-san pointed out that inviting a reporter might be problematic, so the man was sent back to his office.
Sorry, I didn't think that
It's fine, I got it.
that was going to advance the dialogue.
Yeah, he obviously didn't go back. He secretly followed the party to the beach and took this very candid photograph. And then presumably, he posted it anonymously to the police, to Twitter.
Well, from far away, it kind of looks like some ram's horns. I don't know what's going on there. I know what's going on there when it zooms in, but it looks
Oh,
like a
her
ram.
hair.
Yeah, I think it's the hat. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the hat. And then, yeah, he posted it to the Twitter.
Yes, that must be what happened.
Wow. Go!
Okay, that must be what happened, and then Dots is suspicious.
We've just heard that the new witness is now ready to testify. The trial is about to resume. Please proceed to the courtroom at once.
It's time to steel ourselves once again, then.
It's also weird that the bailiff walked up to us. They usually just yell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
They did it a
Herlock.
few times. It was also Herlock. Well, no, they did it once in the last game. I noticed that when I was like catching up and playing it, and it wasn't Herlock when it was. But they did do it once, and I was like, "Oh, why are you here? You're too close. Back up.
You're too close. What are you doing?
You're not supposed to be here." So sometimes they do it, but the more they do it, the more it's probably Herlock.
Defense attorney Ryutaro Naruhodo.
Yes.
It's Hosonaga. He found out that Herlock had done that. He was like, "I want to do that too."
My turn.
Rei has put her faith in me now and told me everything. So I can't let her down. I I have to prove what she's telling the court is true. I have to prove what really happened that day.
So the thing I discovered is that I can advance the dialogue by scrolling on my scroll wheel.
Ah,
Oh god.
And so
that's terrifying.
I was trying to like scroll in Discord so I could like say a thing about a different game real quick without clicking out of the game, and it was like, haha, more dialogue, and I was like, no, wait, why are you doing this? It is now 11:30 a.m.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Fuck off.
11:30 p.m.
Yeah,
Your
sure,
line
yeah,
is
sure.
exactly on the dot. 11:30 p.m.
No, it's 11:30 a.m. Also, it's 10:30. Fuck off.
It's
Fuck
8:30. Fuck all of you.
My time is important because I'm the one streaming. I'm the only
But we're
real
the
time.
majority, so I think we matter.
No.
Canon time. Anyway, I hereby call this court and this Discord call to order as we reconvene to continue the trial of Ray Mbambi.
Bam.
I said Bombi, yeah. Prosecutor Ouchie, have you summoned the new witness?
Before I address that question, Your Excellency, I have some very important news to share.
She's not a hot lady. Like either he only ever does that when there's a hot lady on the stand. So I
Oh.
was like, oh, is this reporter a hot lady?
No, we've seen
it.
him.
We've seen the reporter. Yeah.
What news? And why does he look so happy about it?
There was no poison on the knife.
During the recess, with the collaboration of Professor Mikotoba's laboratory at Yume University, the police re-examined the knife that was used to end Miss Giselle Brett's life.
Excellent. I admire your rapid handling of the matter.
Oh, too kind, Your Excellency, too kind! I was merely carrying out your instructions, of course.
I had the reagent delivered to the police headquarters by rickshaw, so it would be there in good time.
But judging by the man's swagger, I fear we might need to brace ourselves for the
That's Mikotoba.
Well,
Sure is.
That's Mikotoba.
But judging by the man's swagger, I feel we might need to brace ourselves for the inevitable.
I was like, that's a weird thing for Ouchie to say, but okay.
And counsel, what were the results?
This dagger, which was so cruelly used to end the life of the victim, has no trace of poison anywhere along its blade.
yup, because it was the pen.
What? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I would stake the reputation of the police on it.
With the reagent, the test is extremely simple. They couldn't have made a mistake.
We can test it.
Yeah, exactly. Give us a mini game.
The murder weapon has been entered into the court record.
The label appears to be written in a foreign language that I don't know.
It's German, so your knowledge of English is going to be of little help here.
What?
Why is it German?
Couldn't he just have written medicine on it in Japanese? Then we'd all be able to read it.
German is the international language of medicine, my dear. But yes, I can certainly see the merit in labeling the bottle in Japanese. Though I'm not sure medicine would be entirely appropriate.
It's not really medicine. Susato.
We can't combine things, unfortunately.
No.
Ah, yes, this must be the victim's blood.
Lick it.
Oh dear, blood is never a pretty sight, is it? I'm having to fight the urge to run it under a hot tap and get it clean.
You've always been fastidious. Fastidious?
Fastidious.
About cleanliness, haven't you?
I think this is something else, Father.
What do you think you're gonna find?
Retractable knife.
Can we examine it again and try and test it?
No, I gotta check it.
Maybe there might be at some point hey, maybe we should examine.
In
Maybe we
short,
we'll probably examine the pen.
accused feeble excuse earlier has been utterly destroyed.
I mean, just because the knife didn't have poison on it doesn't mean that she couldn't have thought that the knife had poison on it.
Exactly.
Now, the prosecution is ready to call the new witness.
Ah, the newspaper reporter who managed to capture a photograph of the crucial moment. Good. Very well. Officer, bring in the witness.
No trace of poison on the knife. But it's really the case. How could the toxin have entered the victim's body?
That was creepy.
I mean, that's the animation that happens every time.
It's like so rigid. I don't know.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
Who he?
I feel like Levi.
Oh, I guess I don't.
Yeah, Alex got no one right now.
That's true. I don't have anyone in the courtroom currently.
I think I should do it.
Okay.
Right, didn't mini memo of the Shonen News. I'm what people like to call a journo.
That works.
What is this? He reminds me of someone, and I can't figure out who it is.
His like
Can kill me.
face and hair reminds me a little bit of Lupin or somebody from.
Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
He looks like he belongs in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Oh.
Yes.
He's got like the same like big eyes and like really, I don't know.
What's a journo, Father? Do you know?
Well, it's not delivery.
Alright. Pack it up.
End the stream. That's it. That's the
Going
day.
home. That's it. We're done.
I took my headphones off for 1 second. What the
We're done. Pack it up. Pack it up.
God.
I'm going home.
You gotta
Exit the game.
clip it. You gotta clip it.
It's simply a contraction of journalist.
I'm where the news breaks, putting the pen to paper, catching those. What? Oh, brain. Sorry, I had something else opened and it started making noise at me. Putting pen to paper to catch those scoops, so they're prints in the next morning.
Yep. Oh, Lord.
They don't call me the hero of the Herald for nothing. I'm the nice guy of news.
Oh, your poor nips.
This man doesn't have
Nice
nits.
guy of news.
This is fun
So,
music.
Yeah.
it was you who took this photograph, was it?
What do we have here?
I'm sorry?
Oh, brace yourselves, people! Mini Memo senses a scoop in the offing?
Yep, that's what he
In
said.
The offing.
Yep, that's what I said. Female student of the foul play defended by curiously handsome young lawyer in Supreme Court. This music is like this game's version of
Please read this.
the Cowboys.
Please read this.
The readers will lap this up. We'll set it above the fold at 72 point in a 5-leg format for the morning edition.
I just needed him to stop clicking.
Huh?
You could say what you wanted to say now. I just
What's
needed
the name of that
clicking to
fucking
stop.
cowboy?
Jake Marshall.
Jake Marshall.
Jake Marshall. That's what this music reminds me of.
A little bit.
Having
Yeah, I
taken
can
a journalism class, I appreciate knowing what some of these words mean now.
One of the writers took a journalism class. It's just like, this is my character. I did this one.
We're just gonna vibe here for a second. He's a lot.
He is. It's some of our reporters in this franchise. Right then,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
start with your name.
Every fucking trilogy's gotta have a reporter.
The most annoying reporter.
There was
Oh
a
my
lot
God,
of
you're
heart.
right.
There was Spark Brushel. Now there's fucking writing Mini Memo.
And I'm gonna say no more, but that's not the only annoying reporter in the second trilogy. Though I actually like that one a lot. Oh, it's Ryotaro Naruhodo.
Next, what made you want to become a lawyer?
Why are you asking questions?
I'm supposed to be the one asking questions, sir.
Well, I wanted to reform our country's legal system, I suppose.
Ryutaro has suddenly become very ambitious, I see.
I just borrowed Kazuma-sama's dream for a while.
By the way, my name is Taketsuchi Auchi. That's Taketsuchi Auchi. The so-called Dark Horse of the Supreme Court, my objections strike fear into every defense lawyer's heart.
Nah, the readers won't buy that.
What?
Witness?
Yeah.
What this court demands to know is whether or not you were responsible for the taking of this picture. It was delivered anonymously to the Imperial Police Bureau only yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a journo if I didn't click quick when presented with a scoop like that, now would I? Sometimes stories call out to me. Sometimes I have to chase them down, but either way, you gotta act fast.
You know,
I'm
I think
Sonic.
so. He's using a pencil right now, but I think the reason
Yeah.
why he's like tapping it to his tongue is because he's used to using an
Yeah.
ink pen.
Using a pen.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Because
yeah,
he
yeah.
Also,
poisoned
like, he's
his
got
pen.
ink on his hands, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have a pen.
Right.
And especially since his pen was poisoned, he doesn't want to be using a pen right now just in case he uses another poisoned one.
Maybe.
That could
I think.
also explain- that could also explain how it got in her mouth if it's not in the wine as well. She
Right.
used the pen.
I think it's more likely he doesn't have his pen, and
Right.
that's why he's using a pencil. But
Yeah.
yeah.
fast legs to run with, and fast hands to write with. It's no good if you don't note it down, I always say. That's what I call my mini-moseum.
Many memoism.
Mini-memoism.
Many-memoism.
Many-menoism. Maoism.
I love that it's Alex who gets this.
His name
this
is
was
Many
the best thing we could
Memo.
have done.
Ism. Many memoism.
Many-memoism. Anemone.
Yes!
Anemone.
Yes.
Nah, it's because it's an ink pen, and so if the nib gets gunked up with ink, like you would saturate it so that the ink would flow out. So yes, you would get ink in your mouth, but that would be why you would lick it. Job hazard.
Many memoism?
Yes. I remember your face.
So many M's in this case.
We met that day when you were interviewing myself and Saseki-san.
Yes, right. That was me. Mini Memo again.
But you were supposed to be going back to the Shoyu news offices after our meeting.
But the scoop is, I didn't. Because that Englishwoman's words had piqued my journalistic interest.
He's just stabbing his tongue.
Just blood everywhere.
Ow, ow. Ah,
Ah, fuck. Ah, God,
Miss Brett's words?
A criminal left to do as she pleases, just because she happens to be a British citizen?
Ooh.
It's horse dung. This country's judiciary is rotten to the core.
Well, there we can agree.
That's the motive right there, baby.
Or pencil.
The Supreme Court's rulings aren't worth the paper they're written on. The police are just imperial pawns.
Stay
Many
your
memos at
tongue,
ACAB.
young man. There are complex political issues at play.
Well, anyway, I quickly jotted down those words she said in my mini memo pad.
He does have another one on his ear.
Yeah,
Yes,
he just has
and
an infinite amount.
He did just
So
pull
maybe
this
he
one
actually
off his ear.
Yeah. Maybe he actually does usually use pencils, and like the one time he used the pen or something was when he got the stain.
Are you ready? I'll read it out. It's all here. Right, here it goes. Or it could just be they needed him to have infinite. I should like everyone to go I should like to go with everyone to see our country's coast. A serious criminal going on some junket. The people need to know about this. How was my impression? Was it good? That's why I decided to sneak after them.
It's just like Gregson's endless fish and chips. Many memos, endless pencils.
It's an endless pencil buffet. To get the woman's story so I can hammer her in the press.
Yep.
You mean to say that you did indeed witness it firsthand? The grim scene portrayed in this photograph.
Oh, yes! Saw it with my own very journo eyes. From start to finish, through the viewfinder of my trusty camera.
Why is your camera lens cracked? What the fuck?
I do this a lot and it gets smacked on tables.
Thank you, Minimono-san. You will now give a formal testimony before the court. You will state exactly what it is that you witnessed on the events surrounding Miss Brett's death.
Next time.
Yeah. It is approaching the time.
Camera never lies.
Until
For
it's
someone who's dead, she talks a lot more than normal dead people.
bam.
Except Mia.
Except Mia, that's true.
Yeah, Mia does a lot.
We're back at it.
Hell yeah.
And we'll be back
Back at it
But
again.
again,
back
Krispy
at it
Kreme.
again. Next Thursday, we will continue.
I'm glad Izzy clipped it.
We will be, I presume, finishing this case and moving on to case number 2.
Not nearly as
Yeah.
complicated as the first case of the last game, I feel
Yeah.
like. That one had us scratching our heads. We figured this one out real fucking quick.
Yeah. I feel like, case number 2 is going to be back in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's also when we resume the old like Ace Attorney format, is what I know. Because the first game in it like really doesn't stay in like it just does whatever for the story, you know. But we're gonna be back to like
That's kind of sad,
investigating.
actually.
I
Just let it go.
some people don't like that. I had a lot of fun with not having to stick
Exactly.
to any sort of formula.
I like that
But
shit.
like apparently it's not bad, right? As long as it still works, then it's fine. But
I like that we're out of tutorials, hell.
yeah.
I mean, we will be after this.
But yeah, but I never felt like the format and pacing of the first game was to its detriment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fine.
But Many
but
don't
yeah,
agree with me.
that will be it for us tonight, folks. I'm doing another stream tomorrow at 11 CST AM, 11 a.m. CST. I'll be doing some art, so come hang out and watch me do some draw, if you would like. And after that, Sunday, we'll be back with more reading of Dracula by Bram Stoker. We're on chapter 4 of Dracula. And then Tuesday, I'm playing a game, probably, maybe. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But that's what you can look forward to. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Good night.